Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond Beats and Culture. I'm your host and cultural commentator, Chase the Dark Sage, here with my co-host.
T.
And we're back with another episode of Hip Hop Goodness. And guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is going to be a very light week because not much has happened. And the releases that we do have, we're gonna talk about them in the What We've Been Jamming section, which is the part of the show where we give our first impressions of the stuff we've been listening to. But it's been a very light week and also a very light year. But before we actually get into the show, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video on your way in, because I know you were super excited to see a new episode came out. Make sure you support the boys to help us continue growing on this whole platform right here. Make sure you check out our social medias down in the description down below, along with the timestamp, so you can skip to any part of the show you want to. And don't forget to follow us on the socials and check out the artist submission form itself. But B, since the last episode, how have you been?
B. I don't know what bit me, bro. Something bit me on my leg. And it's irritating me. It bit me like on my leg.
It's irritating you like it's irritating, like the bite itself, or is it irritating that you can't figure out what bit you?
It's the bite and what bit me.
Okay.
Because
curiosity.
whoever, I don't know what it was, but whatever it bit me, the nigga didn't stop at my leg. The leg part is the only one that's sore. But bro went to my back, my neck, my rib. Bro wasn't done, bro. I guess I taste good. He like, bro, I love that dark meat. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say something, but I can't say it after you said all that now. I'm about to say maybe your son was trying to give you some revenge if you gave him a whooping recently.
Hey, like, nah, bro.
You ain't know it. You
was asleep. No, but I was in the playroom, like chilling, playing the game on the floor. So it had to be something, man. I'm thinking about, bro, I got like bug spray. Like I want to spray around the house, but these bug people keep coming to my crib trying to sell me bugs. Like I'm like, I might have to take one of the offers, bro. Because I ain't trying to get defense. I got some stuff. But they pay to get, because they come into the walls, bro. They go through these little weep holes outside your home and they come in.
Basically pest control?
Yes, B. Pest control. Bro,
that's something that you got to worry about when you have a house, B.
It sucks, bro. This homeowner stuff, bro. Hey, I swear, bro. Once we pay this house off or whatever, or if I sell it in the next 15 years, I'm renting. I'm done with this.
B, getting an apartment, that's the major label deal. Getting the house, that's the independent deal. B.
That's the independent deal.
Hey, you gotta do everything yourself.
Facts. I'm done with this, bro. I'm done. I'm not trying to be like Slick Rick and Killer Mike. I don't want to be no landlord in the future, bro.
Hey, I do. I want to be a landlord.
You gonna be a landlord, B?
Yes, I want to make some money.
we was a landlord technically for a while because the other house that was given to us, we actually had some people like staying in there, so it was kind of like landlord situation, but we knew the people, so it was like. It was kind of cool.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy. Like, hey man,
it wasn't an actual landlord and tenant dynamic.
Right. Nah, like we needed them. You know what I'm saying? We need you to stay here because we can't stay here. Pretty much. Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But yeah. Anyways, B, how you been, man?
I've been all right. Went to Babes. This was my second time going yesterday.
Good. You rock with it. Which Babes you went to? Yeah.
The one up the street from me.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one up the street from me, so I went to that one. It was good. I said, this is my second time going in general, so it was cool. Let me see. Got some vinyls that was pre-ordered this week. The new D'Angelo, the Brown Sugar. What was it? 30-year anniversary, I think. Which to me is my favorite D'Angelo album. So I was like, all right, cool, because I was gonna buy the regular black version, but the color in my life. Tyler the Creator recently came. The estate sale vinyl came.
Damn, ain't that old?
Yeah, but he had it limited. He had the estate sales, the one with the bonus tracks and all that.
Right.
Get lost, but it was limited. But he restocked it a few months ago, and it just now came in.
Okay,
because I pre-ordered it. Pre-ordered the Lil Wayne Carter 1 and 4. Shout out to my boy RB Reyes because he sent me the link while I was at work. I'm trying to see what else. I know my Keisha Cole came in last week, but yeah. Oh, Channel Orange, that vinyl pre-order for that finally went up.
I bought that as well.
Yeah, and it was very pricey. It was more expensive than Blonde, but honestly, I prefer Channel Orange over Blonde.
Yeah. I like Blonde more, but Channel Orange is more accessible, like as an album.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah. Channel Orange is?
Blonde is really Blonde put like Frank Ocean into superstardism.
They don't mean this is no. Channel Orange was the album that was more accessible to any, like normal listeners. They want to listen to some music. Blonde, no, bro. That album was so pretentious. He has no drums
I
on certain
agree.
stuff. You got like listen to the stuff he have on there, B, compared to an album like Channel Orange. Like I'm talking about music wise,
Mm-hmm.
just stylistically. Blonde is more of an artsy type of album. Even if you look at
So
his, go it again.
I was gonna ask you, do you think Blonde is a pop album?
It could be pop, especially with popularity, because I think it was way more popular than
Yeah,
freaking
Channel Orange.
Channel Orange. But being as an easier listen, Channel Orange is. Blonde is not. Even though I
Mm.
love Blonde, though. It's my favorite. Come on, bro. You got Sing Freed. Like, listen to some of the songs, bro. You don't. So, like, you got Super Rich Kids over here. You got Lost. Oh, I can't wait to spin that. I can't wait to spin Lost in this joint, boy.
Isn't Pyramids on Channel Orange, right?
Yeah, Pyramids on
Pyramids.
there,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Look,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The only
Pyramids is
song that you
hard.
could think of that is probably like the worst song on the album is Nike's on Blonde. Even just like Nike,
Okay, I
out
can
here
see
looking
that.
for a check.
You
That
notice how
song,
like that's like the second album for like an artist like a Frank Ocean and SZA is like their
mhm.
biggest album. That's
You
kind of
gotta think
crazy.
about it because not really because you got the hype from the first album, right?
Yeah,
And
of
then they come out
course.
with that second one. Especially
Hmm.
think about Frank Ocean's situation. We think that nigga Ghost now. He was Ghost then too. He was gone
Hmm.
for a while. And then we dropped that. You remember? I told you. I remember
Yeah.
the day it dropped. We was at the mall and I'm like, hey yo, bro, take me home. I gotta listen to this. Like, and then also he dropped well, Endless as well around that
Hmm.
time. I wish that
Wasn't that
dropped
the
on my
live album or something like that?
yeah, it
That
was
was a
like
live album on
it
Apple
was a
or whatever.
visual album.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
what
a
it was. The
visual album.
visual, the music video album.
It has a vinyl because I think the Endless vinyl and Blonde vinyl dropped on Black Friday that one year,
Hmm.
and they really limited. So, but they got bootlegs out there, but I don't want no bootleg,
Yeah, of course. They got too many bootlegs out there.
bro. If he can get Ostra or whatever on vinyl,
On
boy.
vinyl. Boy can't even get it on streaming services. You think he gonna get it on vinyl?
Yeah, I
I
know
mean,
because
I think Frank got the pull to do
it's that
that.
Eagle sample pretty much. The hotel.
Hmm.
His it's that one Hotel California sample. He has a M80, not M83. He has a MGMT sample on there too. It's
Novocaine
a
was
few
on
other
that
stuff.
album. I mean that
Yeah,
mixtape, right?
Novocaine's on there too.
Okay,
But
okay.
Novocaine's a single. I think that was more of an original song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
trying to remember.
Songs for Women on that joint, which like my probably one of my favorite Frank songs. I love that song.
I wonder why he named that song that. Hey
What
B,
you mean?
Was Frank Ocean next coming of Luther Vandross?
No, well, Frank is yeah, you go wild. But if you know, Frank was out at first, like as like, he was a straight artist.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. He the next Luther Vandross, B?
but we don't. I think he still be talking about women and men in his music. I don't know. He a little
Luther Vandross,
bisexual.
B?
Hey now, have was Luther saying anything about women?
Yeah, excuse me, miss. What's your
What's your
name? But
name?
the thing was because I was looking at a thread earlier this week talking about Luther Vandross,
Oh,
and it
he
was like
did do that.
one of the beautiful things about Luther was that his songs was like super like relatable, and that he didn't use quote unquote pronouns a lot, so anyone could sing the
Hmm.
song to anybody basically.
Yeah.
And it was like, does Luther Vandross ever really distinctively say like women in his songs?
Hmm.
And then someone said, "Literally take you out." That
Can
song was
I
about a
take
woman.
you out to see? Look,
Or she's a super lady.
Yep, that's true. I feel like Tyler stopped doing that as well, and Frank a little bit after he kind of came out, he stopped using but another artist that remind me of too is one of my favorite artists, Morrissey and the Smith Band. Like
Mhm.
Morrissey, like he's sexually ambiguous. Nobody knows, and how he does things, he never say like. I think it's some songs when he mentioned like Ms. or like she or something like that, but it's like super rare, So. It's more accessibility, B. Come on, man. It's non-binary music.
During non-binary month, B, Pride Month,
Hey, you know what I'm
and
saying?
Men's Mental Health
Mental,
Awareness Month, B.
yeah, and Black Music Month. Come on.
Hey,
There's a
B,
lot
we
going
just
on
making a
this month.
connection right now.
All the connections, V.
But B, I got a very important question to ask you. What have you been jamming since the last episode?
Nothing. I got a few things, man. So we got what's this freaking song name, bro? What's her name? What's that woman name? She's married. She used to be married to old
Woman.
dude. I can't
Used to
think
be
of her
married to
name right
old
now.
dude. Boy, what type of person are
Amon
you
Shumpert,
describing
bro.
right now?
Amon
Oh, Tiana
Shumpert.
Taylor.
Teyana Taylor, bro. She dropped a single, bro, called Escape Room. I liked
Mhm.
it. Like her vocally, I don't know. It's like Tiana is not saying she can't sing, but like her tone does it for me. Like,
Mhm.
she has like that deep voice and layered on this production. It gave me some of the vibes off her album. I can't think of the name of it with Kanye West. I like the vibe of this. You know what I'm saying? It's called Bed of Roses. It was a dope track. I don't know what her album's called. I think it's
Isn't
Escape
Aaron
Room.
Pierre? I think that's his name. Wasn't he the love interest in the music video or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. He could have been. I didn't watch the video.
Oh, okay, okay. Because
Yeah,
I heard
but
the video was really good. That's
okay,
what I've
but
heard.
no, yeah, but the Bed of Roses, I like, yo, this song's dope, man. I like how she sounded. It's pretty short. I wish it was a little longer. I like the production on it. I'm like, man, hey, Tiana really don't miss, bro. Like her last few albums, I enjoyed. The last one was longer, but it had some joints in there. So I'm really excited for what she's gonna do on her next album, man. And I think her next album is called Escape Room. But I
Mhm.
like this. Short, but I wish give me one more minute and we can flesh out
Mhm.
that production. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You could because even though it's shorter, like the second half of the song, it felt like she was just repeating the same, the hook or whatever.
Mhm.
But I was like, flesh it out a little bit, you know what I mean? Even though I
Mhm.
like the track. I like the track. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure
that's
her
a single.
performance was better in that than the Tyler Perry movie that she was recently in.
Did you watch it?
Sadly, I forgot to tell you about that in the how we doing
And
section.
B, I watched it too,
I
B.
Yeah, that movie was bad.
It was so
That
bad.
movie was bad.
Tyler Perry just make high production Tubi movies, bro. That's all he do.
Yeah, that's what he got that studio for. Be in Atlanta.
Yup. Hey, bro, we need to go and
Oh
what you
man.
got, B? What you listen to?
First thing I got on the docket, I listened to Luther Vandross's self-titled album, which is the album that has excuse me, miss, like, let me take you out tonight, basically. And this is his self-titled album, so this came like in the early 2000s. And watching it, not the interview, but the documentary a few months ago that I talked about on here, I kind of wanted to get more into, like I said, some of the older R&B artists, kind of see like how R&B really got like revolutionized, how it evolved, and like seeing how like the older artists kind of panned out in the modern day during the contemporary era of R&B. And B.
Hmm.
And going to this album, you could tell that Luther is like, it's not that he's out of place with it, but you could definitely tell that he's a bit different, especially with the way he was in R&B versus how R&B at that time was as well, because
Hmm.
not like that, but not a lot of people was as vocally gifted as Luther during that time. And that boy Luther can sing. So hearing him on certain instrumentals and tracks like the ones off of his self-titled album, I was like, I gotta give this a few more listens, but I don't know if this sits right fully with me. Like I like Luther on the more somber, mellow type of instrumentals to let his vocals really shine versus like the instrumentals that he had on Luther Vandross, which there was some good songs on there. I'm not saying that this was a bad album or anything, but I just think that it was a bit jarring because it was a way different sound to what compared to what I'm used to hearing Luther on himself. But obviously, like a song like "Take You Out," classic within the culture,
Hmm.
obviously. So I'm never gonna deny that. And there was some songs in here. I'm like, okay, I'm really bumping and I'm grooving, but I don't know. It was, I guess the best. Yeah, it had to be jarring for me because it was like I'm not used to it, and I got to kind of get used to it. And then this is also the era of like someone from like the 80s, 70s or
Hmm.
whatever coming into the modern time. So it was like you kind of got to get adjusted. And I know to me, like I talked about like in the last episode what we've been jamming. Listen to that Invincible album, hearing Michael come into more modern times. I feel like Michael made a great transition because he was always keeping up to date with like the latest sounds within the culture itself. But yeah, Luther Vandross is self-titled. I enjoyed it enough, but I had to give it a few more listens to really see what my thoughts were on like how I feel about the album as a whole. But yeah, B, what's your next album?
Man, a good thing that you mentioned is a a period of an artist that's been out, in a different generation,
Hmm.
coming into a modern generation. It's kind of like it's eye-opening to see how they adjust and like transition
Hmm.
into it. Like
Hmm.
it brought me up an idea of like it made me think of an idea of like what's gonna happen once you got Drake, Kendrick, like in hip hop, all the J. Cole and all those guys when they transition into another in a more modern, sense of music or hip hop, bro. I don't know. It's gonna
Mhm.
be weird. I want to see how they're
I feel
gonna
like
adjust.
Drake is the only one that's kind of done that. And we could talk about that later because Dom made a
Mm,
point like that in one of his videos from Potty Mouth. Shout out to them.
mm,
But I feel like Drake is the only one that's kind of like went with the trends of
mm.
sounds in hip hop versus J. Cole self produces for himself, kind of gets beats that no one else really does, and so does Kendrick Lamar himself. So yeah.
But we can talk about it. But I have a like. I don't think they're out of the times. Do you get what I mean?
No, I agree with you, but
Mhm.
I guess my thing was like I
It's
I,
like I'm
I
talking
get
about
what you mean.
drastic. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, you mean like drastic
a
changes? I
drastic
guess my thing
shift.
is like,
Because you think where
would you?
Michael Jackson, where Luther and them come from, and then going
Uh-huh.
into like what modern R&B was in the early 2000s. It's totally,
Hmm.
to me, it's a total different
Okay,
situation.
yeah, I agree
It's
with
like
you.
if Slick Rick, you know how you felt about the Slick Rick album?
Hmm.
Him coming in, he couldn't come into like, like picture if
Hmm.
he tried to come into modern times and like it's more of a transition. Like I think right now it's hard. It's hard for them, but I feel like we need a few more years, maybe 10 years for Drake and Kendrick, in my opinion, and like
Hmm.
J. Cole's, because I feel like they still have that lane of their own right now, and people
Hmm.
still mimic them. Are like come from the blog era a little bit. I don't think it's too far removed in modern hip hop right now that them guys would be left behind. But I get what you're saying about Drake because he hops on with newer artists or like a
Hmm.
new trend or something like that. I get that. But
Yeah.
my next project is gonna be by Kevin Abstract Blush. I jammed this once. If anybody familiar with Kevin Abstract, he's like he produced, he writes, he raps, and on this project I guess the cover, I was trying to look at this cover. He has a hoodie on, he has pajama pants on. He's like in a library and he got his headphones on and he's covered. And I'm like, what's the meaning of this cover? And I was trying to figure out like why he do this. This cover means nothing. But
Hmm.
anyways, the album is full of collaborations. There's no track on here when it's Kevin by himself. I don't know if Love Spells is a producer, but he's on like he or she are on a good amount of songs. You got JPEG Mafia on here. He's back collaborating with Amir Van. I don't remember he got kicked out the group of Brockhampton over some I think it was some sexual allegations going on with him. But you got Danny Brown on here. So you got Dominic Fike. So I'm thinking that he just put this world and used all these artists and different producers and himself as like I guess the instruments, the focus of this project. Because it kind of felt like he fell to the background. I don't even remember. I don't know if he changed up his rapping or like vocally, because he does a lot of melodic things. He has a song like No, I think it's Nola, that's like more high tempoed, but most of this project is kind of low. The production is like experimental,
Hmm.
R&B, hip hop, all that mixed. And it didn't really stand out to me in his discography because not saying it's the same thing that you really get from him. Like he's
Hmm.
not bad. Like he's not like a super bad rapper. Like you could tell that he has a lot of inspiration from like Kanye West and a lot of those alternative guys. And the song H Town was pretty cool because he's from the Houston area, like he's from Texas. So like them having the little H Town references and stuff like that was pretty dope. And I like the song Geezer with him and Dominic Fike. It's pretty cool. It kind of gave me like this early 2000 vibe with the production on that. But I don't know. I don't know.
Was it boring, B?
It was cool, but yeah. So Kevin Abstract Blush. I don't know, B. It's not boring, but it's like
Hmm.
it's the same story. And it's not like he's not pushing the genre or anything, because he's a really creative artist. And like I'll never take it away from him. But it just sometimes it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not even a word. I'm not being mean or nothing because there's nothing really mean to say. But it's kind of like, because it's a bad thing. Because I hate judging people music like this, because it's like, dang, if I try something different, or am I already trying something different and I'm continue to do that? But I don't know. How could I say this? Because
The
like
best way it sounds
it's
like is that he's coasting. It's like, I've already been here. I've done that. And yes, you are different from your contemporaries,
mhm.
but you've already kind of done this. It's like,
Yeah, it's like it's just how it feel for me, and it kind of sucks because what do you tell an artist that's always doing something a little different, and he continue to do that, but even though it's in the same vein of what he does, but he's not doing the typical stuff that you hear on the radio or something like that. But it's like,
mhm,
dang, like so I just want to give him room to just do his thing, bro. So I'm not trying to hold that back from him, but it's just like for me, it just didn't do much for me. That's all
mhm,
I say. But I feel like he kind of wanted to display more of the collaborators. He gave them more shine because like on like his probably my favorite project from him was American, what's it called, American Boyfriend or something like that. That's called American Boyfriend or whatever. I actually like that story and that concept from that, and him being, I think that's like around the time he came out, as a gay man, you know what I'm saying? He just
mhm.
talk about all this stuff of, him being in high school and blah, blah, blah. All that type of stuff. I liked it. I was all right, this is cool. This is dope. But I don't know, for this one, I don't know. Didn't really do it for me. Maybe I had to listen to a few more listens to it because it wasn't bad, B. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't bad. It just was like, eh. So, I'm sorry, Kevin. If you see this, bro, I'm not trying to say that you're boring or that you're not pushing the boundary because you are creative, bro. You are a talented guy. So yeah, if any guys want to check out Kevin Abstract, check him out. He's pretty dope. He makes dope stuff, man. But sometimes dope is, I don't know. It's like I can't say do something different because that's just he does do things different, but it's just still
Uh-huh.
in his vein. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just see. That's why I didn't really want to talk about it because I hate having this. I'm like, damn, I don't want to have this as a critique of someone
Mhm.
actually pushing the boundaries, but also it's like, bro, you still doing the same? You still trying to do this? I don't know. It's kind of
Mhm.
like JPEG Mafia in a way. Like JPEG Mafia, like I do different, I do different things, but it's like, bro,
Mhm.
but you always do different things, and you try all this quirky stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But it's like, all right, I know what I'm about to get.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's just, I don't know, bro. It's hard sometimes to critique certain type of music,
Yeah.
Because we could be at Future and be like, okay, we know what we finna get from Future. And I could say something like, if the Future need to grow, or people saying, oh, Drake need a new, we done listening to Drake. Drake could have put out the same album, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, we do still need Drake.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We still
Yeah.
need Future.
Mhm.
So, we need Kendrick.
I
We
think my
need these
thing is
guys.
like whatever you're doing, hone in on it and strengthen
Mhm.
it more. Don't
Yeah.
try and like, okay, I'm working on this. Okay, let me pivot and do something different now. Something
Yeah.
different from this rather than mastering this and giving you a very more
Very,
honed
yeah.
in version of this.
Because I
Yeah.
could be missing some in this album because I only listened to it once. So, it's not a review, it's just my first thoughts on it. So maybe when I go back, I'll maybe catch different things. But not saying it was a bad listen at all. It just was like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just not feeling anything that's separating you from your other work. That's it.
Kevin, please excuse my co-host. He is very ignorant on the chord progressions, the synths that you probably
Oh
use.
no! Oh yeah!
Please don't come at him for that,
I
please.
was big on all that though. That was dope. Hey,
Mhm.
I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. What's your next project, B?
My next project. Shout out to the tastemaker himself, RB Reyes. He saw this whole week, at least last week, everybody was kind of getting into a feud over the R&B list that was happening. Michael Jackson was on there as number three. People was like, "Oh, Michael Jackson doesn't make R&B." But then one of the pages, R&B Radar and RB Reyes, they was both talking about how Invincible was a really good R&B project from Michael Jackson. And obviously, last week or the week before, I think I talked about Invincible. And RB Reyes said, "Oh, you literally just talked about Invincible. I don't know if you listen to Prince. Let me give you some recommendations." And so he gave me some recommendations. Obviously, I haven't went through all of them, but I did go through one. It was from Prince, like I said. And the first one I listened to was Musicology. He said, "Bro, I know you're gonna like this one. Like I bet
Mhm.
you're gonna like this one. Listen to Musicology by Prince." And this is an album that came out like in 2004, I think, or early 2000s, right?
Mhm.
And my thing is this, right? When it comes to Prince, I'm not opposed to Prince. I never got the Michael Jackson versus Prince comparisons personally because growing up, I never really heard Prince like that until I became a teenager and I got more into music. And I'd only see this discourse online. Like I never heard people talk about Prince in real life. Like not
You
to
what?
slight Prince, not to slight Prince. I've never heard people talk about, especially people my age group B, people wasn't talking about no Prince in my surrounding area, right? I come from a very close-minded background, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you in terms of like where I grew up in high school and stuff like that. But yes, Prince has big songs. Yes, Prince is an icon, especially within black culture. I've never heard the comparisons, and me personally, I never got the comparisons. Like I'm just like I've never heard people talk about Prince like people talk about Mike. Like this is like to me, I'm like these are two different ball games happening right here. And so I heard Purple Rain years ago, but last year I did a re-listen to it, and I think I talked about it on what we've been jamming here. I liked it. I thought it was cool, especially as a soundtrack project. So I had to grade it a bit differently because this was made for a soundtrack of the same movie name. And so I go into this house musicology, and Prince gave me some vibes that I really do enjoy. He gave me them funk soul vibes that you would kind of get from like 80s, 70s, like funk soul black music, basically. And some of the ways he would write music on this actual album itself, I was like, all right, I dig the songwriting. I dig the sonics that you're giving me on here. And there was one cut on this album where it was like super like modern R&B infused. I'm like, ooh, dang, I forgot the name of it. But I was like, ooh, and I'm like, going through this album, I think the song was called, was it A Million Days or was it Call My Name? I forgot the name of the song.
Call My Name is
man,
like one of the popular songs on there.
Okay, I really liked it. I mean, I liked the whole album overall, and it wasn't too long of a listen. 12 songs, 47 minutes. Obviously, this was a different era, but the songs felt fully fleshed out. They felt like good songs. They felt like whole songs. I didn't leave there feeling incomplete on the album itself. But obviously, this was a different time, and this is a musical genius that Prince is. But going over this album, it's made me want to listen to more Prince albums because, like I said, growing up, no one really talked about Prince like that. Like I'm not trying to slight him, B. I'm not trying to. I know this is blasphemous.
I think you got to say, growing up, people around you didn't talk about Prince.
Yeah, people around me. That's why I said when I got into music and I got online, like on online discourse, that's when I started seeing like Prince stuff. And I'm like, I've never heard people talk about Prince in real life around me in my surrounding area. Like Michael Jackson, that was a different. That was like everybody was Michael Jackson out. So
because my thing is in our age group. Like you're not gonna hear about Prince. You're not even gonna hear about Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna know who Michael Jackson is. But musically, you gotta be around people that actually love music. That even people that they know the hits. They know the Prince hits. They know the Michael Jackson hits. Michael Jackson's the biggest pop star ever. But when you talk to actual people that love music, Prince is gonna pop up. And when you talk about the Prince and Michael Jackson comparison, it was more about like the aesthetics. People
they
was
were
like
both weird. I don't want to say like not weird bad, but they were both very different. They both stood out,
and they was super iconic people, and they had like this rivalry. Even though that to me they wasn't in the same lane when it comes to Prince was actually producing, played all the instruments, had other band. Prince has so much freaking music. His life was music. Like,
and I don't want to say like this, but Prince felt more experimental and more mature. That's the thing about Prince, especially with him having to get the parental advisory, the whole Nicki Darla situation. That's why I'm like, I never got the Prince and Michael Jackson comparisons, especially musically, because I'm like, to me, they both fill two different lanes, especially
it's Kendrick and Drake, V.
Yeah, I know that, which is why they kept using the flips, which the flips were really good during the beef. Even though some people said that they were bad. I'm like, the flips were really good in general. But yeah, I'm like, I never got the comparisons. Like aesthetically, like I could get that, but most of the time when I would see people compare them, it would be musically. And I'm like, listen to Purple Rain back then versus like a Thriller or a Bad. I'm like, these sound too different for me to even compare these two things. Like Prince isn't trying to go the pop route, the super R&B out route. Like Michael Jackson is that. It's like I don't know. Like to me, Prince is like, what's the best way I could say this? If I had to compare the two, and I really don't like to do this, Prince is the more JPEG Mafia, and Michael Jackson is the more Drake. If I had to compare it into nowadays times, because it's like JPEG Mafia is going for these different sounds. He's not trying to fit into the norm of things like that, and it's a bit more experimental, like I said. While Not saying that, you know, Michael Jackson cops out or anything like that, but he's going for a more accessible sound.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me though. But
Hmm.
yeah, musicology, like I said, overall, really enjoyed this album. I want to dig more into Prince's discography. Shout out to my boy RB Reyes. He did give me some recommendations. So I will be listening to more Prince. He's given
Yeah.
me some more albums. Damn the DM. So I had to go to him and I would listen to
Yeah.
him this.
He sent me some stuff too. Not one album I was gonna talk about, but I didn't get to finish. I'm like halfway through. It's Eric Robertson. I got to
Mhm.
return back to that joint. But he sent me some stuff. He's like, oh yeah, you'll like this stuff right here. Cause I was like, oh, I know all this. I just don't know this. Who is
Mhm.
this? But I didn't get to finish it. So I'm like, cause you know me, bro, with music. But I went through a whole Prince phase, like growing up, bro. My
Mhm.
not my uncle, my granddad, and my freaking grandma loved Prince. I would tell you a
Mhm.
story about when my granny met Prince, bro.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Bro, Prince came to like, my family like party or something like that.
Mhm.
And bro, my granny saw that man. Prince was like, if you know the aura, like Charlamagne talking about how when he met Prince, it felt like he floated to him, like he was floating. But like, when you meet somebody, some people kind of want to be like, all right, I don't want to act too wild. My granny, bro, she don't care.
So basically,
She
like
was,
Riley off of the Boondocks.
yeah,
Yeah, I run this block. So if you need anything, let me know. But I ain't on your nuts though.
hey, they say my granny like hugged him, or pretty much like picking. She loved Prince, bro. Like some of the records I have was from her collection. I
Hmm.
think it's a few Prince records in there, but nah, bro, she loved that man, bro.
Hey B, where you live at again, B? Where you live at?
I don't know what you talking about, man. But nah, man, that's dope. B, listen to musicology, man. I need to go back to that. It's been, bro. It's so much Prince, bro.
Yeah,
It's
there's
so
a lot of
much,
Prince. See, that's what
so
makes
much.
it a bit more daunting for me to get into Prince
Mhm.
versus like a Michael Jackson. There's way less music to go into, and you kind of know the albums to go to. With Prince, it's like I feel like there's different sections probably of the fandom where it's like, oh, I like
Yeah,
this side of Prince, so you need to listen to these albums. Oh, no, this side of Prince right here, it got these albums. You need to
it's
listen to these right here.
Prince is so crazy. Like it's so wide variety of like Michael has to me. Michael has he has his albums before he became Michael. When he was like
Hmm.
having albums like Ben when he was a kid.
Hmm.
But if you look at like the essentials and Michael's, it's like four. It's like four albums to me.
Hmm.
But with Prince, it's so many albums that's essentials, bro. He has at least over eight because he has so many eras. That's like these are freaking critically acclaimed albums. Eh, Like one of the best like guitarists. Like that dude's insane, bro. But yeah, let's get into my. I think this is my last album.
Also, shout out to Prince for having a good amount of references in JoJo's as well. Love the references of Paisley Park. I didn't know what that was. That's the
Yeah, the
thing
Paisley
that
part. Yeah.
JoJo's be putting me on the music that I'd never heard of. And I looked up Paisley
Hmm.
Park because one of the stands is called that. And I'm like, what the F is a Paisley Park? Everybody, that's a Prince
Hmm.
reference. I'm like, let me go research that. And I listen to the song. I'm like, oh, this makes sense with what the actual stand's ability is now. Genius. I love it. Let's keep going.
Hmm.
Sorry.
But my last album, I'm gonna shout out some recs that I'm gonna listen to. I might talk about. I forgot to listen to the rest in a while, but it's in my library. I'm gonna check that out. The
Same.
rest album.
Same.
I'm gonna check out the Code of the Friend new album. He put out an album, and I want to check out the. You gonna talk about it later, but Pierre Bourne.
Mhm.
And Duran Jones and the Indications dropped a new album. I'm ready to get to. I listened to like the first two tracks. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to dive into that. But yeah, we're here for my last album. It's a short album. Her name is Donna Williams. I don't know if you heard of her.
Sounds
30
familiar.
minutes, 10 tracks. It's called Real Friends. And it's like in your like neo soul bag right here, bro. Little neo soul, it's a little modern, you know what I'm saying? I actually like this. It's cool, vibey, something you could throw on in the background, just let it flow. She's her singing is like very soft. The vocals are like soft. She has a few collaborators on here, a few male collaborators, and they have like they whole like dynamic. I like that. Production was cool. There was one track over here that was kind of like not neo soulish. It's a little more high tempo, not really too mellow. That was cool, but I liked it. Like it flowed. This whole project flowed to me. Except for that one track, it kind of was like, huh? And then it kind of get back down. Cause I was like,
Mhm.
this on here? I think it's like the third track. It kind of really threw me off. Even though it's early, so it was early in the project.
Mhm.
But overall, man, I never heard of her. Sometimes I go into like new releases and I like see a cover and I'm like, this look pretty cool. Let me check it out. And her album was. I don't want to really like bring this up, but it's she got a little nip showing on the cover. I don't know if you're looking it up.
Oh yeah,
B.
they poking out right now.
I'm
They
like,
poking. You trying to have a what they call it, an
BB,
areola off, a
hey
Yola
B,
off?
I ain't saying that's what got my attention, but the music is good. I like the music. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
B, it definitely didn't deter you away from listening to the music.
Yeah.
Hey,
But yeah, I think my favorite track on here was it. Dang, I didn't favorite it. God dang it! I hate when I don't do that because I just play it. I don't really look at the track list to like the
yeah.
second listen. But yeah, it was one track on here I really like.
Mhm.
Can't remember it. But anyways, Dana Williams, Real Friends, man. You guys want to check out? Like, I don't know if she's a newer artist, but if something, people not talking about this on the timeline. So much music comes out, bro, that
Mhm.
it get lost. It get lost. And anybody listening to this, y'all like y'all some neo soul, some people that kind of want to bring it back.
Mhm.
She's pretty dope, man. It's not. I wouldn't say when you go into this, don't be thinking you feel to listen to like no freaking D'Angelo, no Erica
Or
Badu, no
no
Maxwell, or nothing
floetry
like
and
that.
something
Don't
like that.
don't
Yeah,
go
yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
floetry.
yeah.
Don't think. Nah,
It's the
just a
more
little.
new neo
Yeah,
soul.
yeah, yeah.
Excuse
It's like
me.
the new neo soul. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which shout out to Alex Isley. She recently had a tiny
yeah.
desk. I haven't listened to
Oh,
it
she
yet, but
did.
I've seen some of the snippets of it. And I'm like, ooh, this sounds
I
good.
already know it's gonna be fire, bro. She's dope, man. But yeah, B, what you got, man? I know you got a few more things.
Yeah, B. So speaking of like so much music comes out and it just gets lost within the shuffle and things like that, B.
Mm-hmm.
B, put your rain jacket on. It's time for us to go into the hazardous wastelands of what's happening this week. Kanye West and Diddy's son came out with an album.
Oh my God.
Listen to it because me, someone has to report on this on the show, right? And I will be the one person to sacrifice my free time to do this, right? The album is called Never Stop. Obviously we know that Kanye is a big supporter of Diddy being freed and that Diddy did nothing wrong, and obviously is Diddy's son. So yeah, King Combs. B, when I tell you that the worst part of this album was King Combs himself.
Not
B,
yay?
so going into the album, I see that it's Ye and him. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, not another collab project. I was surprised. Ye is producing on here.
Okay.
He has one feature on here where he's actually rapping. But B, I'm not gonna lie. I remember I was having talks about this. Kanye might have one more classic in him. I
When it comes to the
agree with you
production,
fully. I'm like, okay, he's producing this. I'm like, the production is actually pretty good on here. There was like one or two songs I was like, eh. But overall, I'm like, production is really good. It's the best part of this album. Easily. Kanye still has some brain cells left in there after the whole Double H situation happening. King
mm,
Combs, you wasted some really good Kanye beats, and I can never forgive you for that. Some of the rapping on here was just so horrible. He has no presence at all. And dare I say it, be Kanye's verse was the best verse on this whole project.
no way, bro. You make
B, I
a
never thought I
incoherent,
would say that.
uncoherent, whatever how you want to say it. Kanye West. No
B,
way.
I'm like, how does Kanye have the best verse on this project? I'm like, Kanye is washed now, rapping wise. How does he have the best? I'm like, nah, bro. Like you get banned to the shadow realm for that, King Combs. Never again. Do not pick up a mic. Never go near a mic. Don't even go in the courtroom because if you go in the courtroom and you play this, they might just charge Diddy on every single charge that's in the book. God dang, guilty.
Hey, hey, he in the courtroom, but look, you said that remind me of on the Joe Budden podcast they had Young Berg on, right? And Young Berg, they was asking him something about like Diddy, and he was like, "Yo, the wildest thing he said to me, he was like, yo, me and Christian, what's his name, Christian, well, what's his name, King
King
Combs,
Combs.
we
Mhm.
walked in, to the party, and Diddy was like, hey man, he was like, he told Diddy like, yo man, I've been working for the music with, we got some stuff. He was like, man, f that nigga, man, I'm talking about the music with me. He's like, no, yo, you need to work with me. F him.
Go,
Yo, oh, hey,
go.
you like, yo, your dad don't even trust you, man. Your dad don't even care about your
Facts.
music career, bro. You a nepo baby, what they call it,
A
nepo,
nepo
nepo. You a
baby.
nepo
Uh-huh.
baby. I almost said a nympho baby because he one of
Oh,
those too. You know what I mean?
probably was. Hey, we had that bed in the basketball court. You don't think
But
his
they
son
said,
frequented that?
B, I know we can't be talking about this, but bro, they say the boy Diddy would be at freaking meetings getting hand jobs, bro. Come on, bro. Like in the middle of a meeting. So when we talk about the splits, Yeah,
Hey, calm that down there.
Hey, we talk about the splits here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what did they call it back then during the earlier days of streaming? Support your husband under the desk or whatever. Give
Yeah.
him some desk support, whatever it's called. That's what Diddy was getting early on. Hey, B, Diddy was an innovator.
But innovation, B. I told you that we won't stop.
Hey, that's what it says on the album too. Bad Boys Worldwide, never stop. No,
Never stop, B. Oh my God.
oh
But nah, bro.
man.
Hey, like I said, you are the foot on the grounds reporter. You
Mhm,
get out there,
mhm.
rain, sleet, or snow, and you out there doing your reporting, listening to the tunes. And like I told you, you out there in the trash, B, in the landfill, searching for the music. Because, bro, I'm telling you, when we talk about how the landscape of music is, bro, it's so
Mhm.
much trash. You
Yeah,
gotta
very
dig to find the gold, bro. You gotta dig. I'm telling you.
facts.
It's
Oh.
like you gotta go to the places that you know that's gonna be good. Like, even though
Mhm,
we talk about, like, hey man, he put out the same thing, but I know it's gonna be good. This is something
mhm,
I'm not, I know it's not trash. But
mhm. What I listen to is straight trash.
what
Literally,
you
the
got
beats are the
next,
best
B?
thing. B, we gotta talk about it. The new Don Toliver song,
Oh yeah, I
FWU.
forgot.
That
That
mustard
joint
production.
hard.
Was it? I think the album is gonna be called like
Um,
Gemini Season. Don
uh-huh.
Toliver was flowing on that bad boy.
You know
Yes,
he gonna have
sir.
Kendrick on there, bro. Gemini
Hey,
season?
that's the new YG feature. Hey, I gave you a mustard beat. It's like it
It's a
comes with the
Kendrick.
Kendrick feature now.
You
I
know
was
what I'm
like,
saying?
hey, Kendrick's my new YG. Even though
Hey,
YG's newest single ain't made no type of buzz or nothing, even though
the
he's just
Hollywood
Joey
joint, my
on it.
girl like that song. She be playing.
Yeah, it's made no type of buzz. I've only seen it on TikTok, and it's because he said something about Joey, and obviously he has some girl dancing in the forefront of the
Mhm.
song. But going back to Don Toliver's song, the song is Heat. It's definitely something different that Don Toliver. It's very familiar, but it's unfamiliar territory that Don
Mhm.
Toliver usually goes in with this type of production. I really liked his album Hardstone Psycho last year, and him coming out with this right here. Don Toliver's just been on a little run where I'm like, he's a more consistent Travis. Like, he's not trying to blow you away with the aesthetic or the world. Like, Don Toliver, he gets in the bag and he just stays in that bag for that album and he just keeps going. Like, it's like he never stops.
Is Don Toliver a producer? Do he make beats, or he's just more like,
I don't think so. I think he's more
the
the singer slash
mm,
crooner.
writer and stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he ever got into his, because I know a lot of people was really high on his last album. So I don't know if he actually, dived into the production, but I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
he has a lot to do with the direction and the landscaping of the album. So, the world he
Let me look
builds.
at.
But this song is dope. And I like Donnie Womack from Don Toliver. Like, that's like the only
Mhm.
project I actually like listen to from him. And this right here, it kind of give you that, I don't want to say rage sound a little bit, but it kind of made me feel that way as well. And DJ Mustard, like you say when he works with artists that's kind of not West Coast, he kind of give them a
Mhm.
different bag. And like this right here, I liked it. I was like, hey, this little bouncy right here. Hold up. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get them dance moves like Nun got. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do that dance move, you know what I mean? But I don't know what he's doing. He's so
Hey, B, I was hitting that while I was driving, B. Hey, no hands on the wheel, B. I got a jam.
I'm about to switch it up, though. I'm gonna do something like this.
Boy got the Carlton. That's the Carlton, B. Hey, well, overall, I really enjoyed the song. I do like Don Toliver when he's on these more fun like tracks. Don Toliver is just an artist that I've really been really enjoying ever since his debut or his big old like commercial like show out with Astro World and his surprise feature on there. So I've been following his career since and I've been really enjoying what he's been putting out. And this song does not fail to exceed my expectations on what he's going to put out. But yeah, my next thing, disappointing thing. Pierre Bourne, Made in Paris. This is Pierre Bourne's first album in a few years. He's a little bit quiet. This album was supposed to come out last year, and honestly, I don't know what the whole pushback was for it not coming out last year because this is standard Pierre. Dare I say it, Lil Tecca has been coming out with more consistent and better albums than Pierre has with his last two albums. The last good album that Pierre put out was Life of Pierre 5. After that, he put out that Diary album or whatever it's called, the movie. Listen to that. Very boring. Has some cool tracks on there. Pierre Bourne's always going to get you at least 1 or 2 tracks off the album. And sadly, I had to say the same for Made in Paris. Pierre has definitely not been trying to come outside. That's the problem right now. Made in Paris, it's literally like I think the whole album was made in Paris. That's the only thing. Like it had a few like French/Paris like sounds that are familiar for everybody, but besides that, all the titling of the album songs is like in French or whatever.
Right.
Nothing except for just being honest, JBH, which is the best song on the album. I listened to this album twice the day it came out. I thought I was missing something. I'm like, Pierre, did you just disappoint me with this? And you had me waiting on this album right here? And I went online and everybody was like, yeah, Pierre missed with this one. I'm like, okay, God. I was like, okay, maybe I was tripping. I'm like, because there was a few songs I like thoroughly enjoyed that I know I could go back to. Like, this isn't a bad album. I like this album more than the last album he came out with, the movie, but I'm just like, just did not, it didn't do it for me. And the worst part is Lil Tecca took his formula and did it better. Lil Tecca's on a better run than Pierre. And I'm like, I hate saying that out loud. Because Lil Tecca definitely took that Life of Pierre formula, having the songs mix and go into each other, kind of like a playlist type situation. Tecca has been on a run. Pierre, what the F are you doing? This is supposed to be your bag, your lane. And look, Pierre gives the vibes. This one, it just felt like he wasn't all the way there. Like, and my thing is this: Pierre's gonna give you the same subject matter, the same type of like things that he's talking about all the time. But it's about them standout tracks. Life of Pierre 4 and 5, bunch of standout tracks. This one right here, it does all sound samey.
I don't want to be super patriotic, but he made it over there with those wee folk, man. Come here, boy, back over here to the States. Go back to the South where you from and get that seasoning. You know what I'm saying? You know when Granny called on Life of Pierre. Hey, when she called, I need a new car, baby. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Hey, you know
He's trying to switch lanes.
You know what I mean?
Come on, switching lanes on here. That's the problem with this.
Over there eating freaking unseasoned fries. What all they got over there in Paris, bro?
Croissants.
Wee. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, wee. Yeah, I don't know about this one, but this was a no. Next project I have. Everyone won't like this, but a lot will. This is by Hashi Senjoo. This is actually a Dallas native, and this is someone I've been following on TikTok. He had a viral song going. He even had some people remix it, like Paul Wall, and I think some other people, I forgot who, but finally came out with his debut project. Everyone won't like this, but a lot will. And it's very reminiscent of that early Houston sound, like the whole like 90s/early 2000s sound of Houston, but it also has some of that Dallas flavor into it, like a Big Tuck or a Tum Tum and things like that.
What this nigga name is? Excuse my French.
Hashi.
How you spell it?
Senjoo. HASHI space SENJOO. When you look at the cover, it's very Houston-esque with the whole candy pane car or whatever, him with the whole grill showing and things like that. And like I said, I've been following him since TikTok. But to see this album and hear it come out, I'm like, all right, you had a good amount of personality. I like some of the songs. It's very reminiscent to an earlier version of what we was getting from Southern hip hop, especially in the South when it comes to Louisiana. A bit of Louisiana, like the song Nola, I believe. There's a song on here called Nola, I think. And really mostly the Houston sound itself. And Paul Wall and Lil Keke gave a very fire feature verse on here as well.
Slab. He got Charlie Boy on here. Remember Charlie Boy? I look good.
Yeah, come on.
Bumping grills.
You know, come on. But yeah, the best song that people will probably know on here that went viral on TikTok was I Done Swung. That's the song that most people know. But yeah, going over this whole project right here, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm like, all right. I'm like, you gave me a good amount of personality. You gave me some songs that I could really go back to and I could jam. And it puts me in that mood of like back then, even though I was a kid back then. But still, it just puts me in that mood. And last project. Shout out to the Potty Mouth Boys. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to 4. I listened to Dom's newest project. A collection of songs because I'm Manic too. Now, I know he tweeted us and he said, will the BBC review this? We haven't really been locking in reviews recently. But I was like, you know what? I still want to give my boy Dom a spin. It's 26 songs. It's an hour and 5 minutes. Now, Dom, I'm always going to be honest on here. Dom's my guy. I enjoy this project, but also I get that you're playing the game. You had a lot of these songs You want to put them all out on the project. Cool. You know, Dom is usually going to show his influences. He's in his Drake bag in a few of these. And I'm like, okay, I really enjoy you when you're in your Drake bag. But there were some songs on here where I'm just like, and it's really in the like the later half where I'm just like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
these are kind of like mashing together and they're not really being distinctive from each other. It's
Mm-hmm.
another I am music situation where it's like some of these songs aren't too distinctive enough for you to have put them on here versus a if you would have made like a 2.5 EP, I would have been cool with that. But I get it though, because sometimes when you have an idea, you want to put that song out, and sometimes you got to say what you got to say on this track specifically, but you want to say the same thing but differently on a different track. I get it, but there was a good amount of stuff on here that I did like, so I'm not thinking that this is a bad project. But I will say some of the songs, especially with it being this long of a list and this many tracks, some songs meshed together and blended in with me to where I'm just like, am I on the same song? Did I change songs? They just felt very samey to me. But I really liked like the first third of this project. I'm like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
cool. And I kind of like the good amount of the second third. I mean, the third of the project. I know that sounds confusing. Some of the second third is where I got a bit iffy and choppy on because I'm like, all right, I like this. I don't like this. I like this. I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one song on here. He gave me huge Kid Cudi vibes. It's the Noticing song, track
Mm-hmm.
24. And I said it on Twitter this weekend. I'm like, listening to Dom separately and listening to Four separately, but them two doing a podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, how come they don't have a project together? But listening to them separately, I'm like, all right, this makes sense why they don't have a project together because they sound too like different compared to what they usually do based
Mm-hmm.
off of what I've heard. But them coming together, I'm like, all right, I actually really enjoy this. One song, I think I tweeted it this weekend. I did 26. I'm like, this gave me super heavy 808s and Heartbreaks vibes with
Mm-hmm.
Kid Cudi and Kanye West. I'm like, I really enjoy when these two get together because it's something very different than what Dom usually does when he's doing his little uh Drake rapidy rap thing. You get what I'm saying? Where he does his little Drake inspired
Mm-hmm.
rap flow, even though that's now becoming like Dom's thing. So at some point I'm glad to stop saying that he sounds or is inspired by Drake because he's doing it a good amount to where I'm just like, okay, that's a redundant point of me saying that. But overall, I kind of like the project. It gave me the I am music vibes where it's like I'm picking and choosing what songs I like and what songs I want to go back to. And basically, all the songs that I like, I'm going to go back to those versus the ones I didn't like. I'm like, I could probably do without because they didn't stand out compared to the better songs that you had on the project itself.
Mm-hmm.
But a collection of songs, because I'm Manic too, I believe they made this on stream. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on this, B, right?
Not,
Did they
not.
make?
I don't think this one they made on stream. This was because I remember I popped into one of their streams I think it was like a week or so ago, and it's just a collection of unreleased songs. Because I actually listened to this too. I listened
Mhm.
to it, and
Oh, okay.
I echo a lot of your sentiments, bro. I just totally forgot I listened to it, but
Mhm.
not no disrespect. I just forgot to have it on my list. But
Mhm.
I actually listened to it, and a lot of these songs do sound similar, but I know it's kind of like a playlist, like the collection of
Mhm.
songs. Because I'm Manic, this is a lot of ideas he had. Because he
Mhm.
said this not like the album, because he's working
Yeah.
on his album.
I could
So
tell because this one
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
as focused.
yeah, it wasn't
Even
as
though it has
focused.
similar songs within the same vein of itself,
Right, right,
which
right.
is the problem. Which now that you're
Yeah.
putting that into perspective, I get it now, especially with the whole Manic thing, which that's what I assumed, but
Hmm.
I wasn't sure. I'm like, I could tell these were like a bunch of songs you probably had. You just wanted to put them all out on one stream, on
That's
one
what I'm
place
saying.
to
Like
stream it.
I'm like, man, I heard him play some of these before. So then
Hmm.
when I remember what he said on the live stream he did, I was like, oh yeah, these are just songs that was unreleased. And even like the one song called Idea 26 is probably just a track he had in his band labs. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff
Hmm.
that he was working on. But I was like, Dom be talking his little trash, he do a little op talk. He talk about some people he
Uh-huh.
don't like, what I'm saying? All my ops are over 30, you know what I'm saying? They
Uh,
should start a family and all this type of stuff. I'm like, yo, Dove hilarious, bro. That's a funny dude, but he's talented. Like, yes, it
mhm.
is redundant saying he sound like Drake because to me, he could have his Drake isms, but he say it in his way. Like he
Mhm.
makes it Dom. You know what I'm saying? Like who
Mhm.
he is. Like he shows a lot of who his personality is, and even like some of the stuff he says, if it's like related to a woman, he'll say it in his way, like a
Mhm.
Dom way, like saying what he had this one line. I want to repeat it.
I will say I
Dang, I
only listened
forgot.
to this once. I did only listen to this
Yeah, yeah, I
once.
listened to it once as well, but dang, he had this one line, and I was like, this is just only this dude to say this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But like he has a lot of those moments in here. It's like I'm
Mhm.
saying, like yeah, he has some inspirations, but he actually makes it his own. But
Mhm.
yeah, I like most of this stuff, but a lot of it, like I said, is a collection of tracks. So I'm
Mhm.
not for to judge it. I didn't judge it super hard because I'm,
Mhm.
waiting on him to put out the album. I know he like to tell like a story and within his project, so I think it was cool, man. I think it was all right. There's
Yeah.
some stuff on here. It was this one track I really liked. I don't know if it's Gaslighting Myself, but it has that. I like the melody he had on that. Hold, let me play it real quick in my head.
I think Gaslight Myself, I didn't expect that to be the closing track. But I will say I did like Tim Get the Monies on here more than I did on
Yeah,
Dom's
more.
last
Yeah.
project. And I thought I'd say that even though this project had a lot more thrown out, and there was
Yeah.
less songs on here that I liked in his last project, but because he
Mhm.
had such a higher batting range on this project, I like this project more than his last project because, like I say, he had more stuff for me to choose from. That okay, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this, but I like this.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
nah.
Like
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least that
yeah.
last project, the last half of it, I'm like, but this one,
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm like, I'm here and there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely tell like he should have put Street Sweeper on this because after I listened to Gaslight Myself, Street Sweeper came on. I'm like, oh, he finally put it on a project. But it was
Mhm.
a Spotify algorithm recommended thing. And I'm like, Dom, you should have put this on here as a bonus track or something. I
He-
really do enjoy that track. It's a very fun track. But I get it doesn't kind of fit the vibe of the actual album
right,
that he
right,
ended.
right. Because he's
So yeah.
bouncing towards like inspirational stuff of like what he want, and then also have like a lot of like tracks about like women and stuff as well on here. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Dang, it's this one line he
But
said. I'm like,
he also has the crooning on here. There was one
oh
song
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
super
He's
auto
cool.
tuned out and he was super crooning. I'm like,
It's not I lust.
um, I, nah, I think it was like early on in the project. I'm like, was it friends or
Yeah.
effing or was it? I don't know. I don't remember which. Like I said, I've only heard this one time, and you could obviously tell we listened to a good amount of music over the week.
Right,
So
right.
I don't remember which song it was, but I was like, I don't know about this one.
Oh,
Dom. I'm like,
he
this
gonna
is.
give you some crooning, bro.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
and it was like
He
super
gotta
auto
get his
tuned out.
young
I'm like,
boy. He got this
ah.
one dude, one of they PMs. I think his name Giz. He be on there doing his little
Gizzy or
yeah,
Tim
yeah.
get the money. It's one of them two.
Yeah.
One of them
Gizzy
sounds like
be
Giveon with auto tune. I forgot which
no,
one
I
it
think
was.
Gizzy the one he has more of a higher pitched voice. Like he be
Uh-huh.
sounding like I think you would like a good of it, a little amount of his stuff because I when he did the whole like when I was on there when I did the verses with him
Yeah,
he
the
make
band lab
some stuff
versus.
yeah he'll like some of the melodies like he do some of the melodies you will like
He's the
I think
rapping
you'll like
one.
his stuff
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gizzy
yeah
is the
he
rap.
raps but he
Yeah,
be
Gizzy's the
singing and stuff
rapper.
yeah
Uh-huh.
yeah. But like he's a light skinned kid I think he's I don't
Yeah,
know
because
where
he's
he's
the
from.
one that actually made the music video. And
No
y'all
no
was
no
watching the
no
video.
no 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 that's not him that's Pids. I'm talking like
Oh,
that's
Pity.
Pids.
That's Pity.
Pity,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
tripping.
It's
Yeah,
Pity,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Pity
yeah.
is the
D
one that be
Pity.
rapping. Like Pity,
Yeah.
Pity, yeah, yeah. The
That's what I'm
PMs, bro,
thinking
they got
of.
some crazy lore, bro. When I tap
Yeah.
in, I be looking and I
Then
come
they got
out,
that
but
little
I'm
O
like,
with the
they
slash in
wild.
the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
They
was
wild
like,
boys,
what does
bro.
this mean?
They be over here watching our stuff, bro. They be in the
Yeah.
comments, especially Pity. He be wilding, bro. He be commenting
Yeah.
and tell us to change our name to put the N in the B.
Put the and in there, like, no,
Yeah, yeah,
B,
yeah,
B,
yeah,
C.
yeah. Yeah, they hilarious. But now, yeah, I only listen to this once, man. So it's just like,
Mhm.
my thoughts. And I listened to it
Yeah.
this morning actually. Just this is the first thing I think I listened to. Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to half of this project in the headphones, another half in the car.
Okay.
And it's just funny, especially watching Potty Mouth's video, Dom saying, y'all making headphone music. Y'all need to stop that. I'm like, I do agree with him on
Yeah.
that. But some of this I did listen to the headphones. Not saying this is meant for headphones, but I did. It's funny he said that, but I listened to most of this album in the headphones.
Mhm.
Well, I did listen to some of it in the car. I'm like, all right, this is jamming. Like this is bumping. Even though it was bumping
Yeah.
in the headphones too. But yeah. B, that's about it for what I've been jamming this week. You already done. So let us know
Yeah.
what y'all been jamming down in the comment section down below. Let's
I
go
did
ahead and
that
get into
twice in a row, B. I forgot an album that I listened to. Remember you did it with Luca, the Luca album.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I listened to
yeah.
that twice, and then I didn't talk about it. And you were like, you sure you didn't want to talk? And then you brought it up. I'm like, oh yeah, I did listen to that. Yeah. Bro, I listened like, bro, it just I don't know why I forgot I listened to Dom album this morning.
Yeah, my
But
thing
yeah,
is if it's not in my little music board thing, which I use to reference back to, then I forget that I listened to it. But I had my Spotify open because I was like, I
I
gotta remember to talk about this Dom
yeah,
since I
I
did
use
listen
my
to it.
library, but I didn't have it. It has all the stuff I uploaded this week in my library. But if I go to yesterday, Dom albums in yesterday, and I ain't go all the way up. So he's what I added
Mm.
yesterday. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
so but yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Let us
Dom.
know what yeah, shout out to Dom, shout out to Potty Mouth, and shout out to Tim Get the Money for everybody else that's on time. Diamonds Prince, which I don't know who that is. But
That's
yeah,
one of the
let us know
guys.
what
He a
y'all
PM too, bro.
is he? I don't
I think so,
maybe it's because
bro.
I don't recognize their Twitter names. Well, I don't
Yeah, I don't.
recognize Diamonds Prince Twitter name.
Mhm.
But yeah, shout out to the whole community over there. But let us know what y'all been jamming down in the comment section down below. But let's go ahead and get into the news section of the show and talk about some music release and announcement. Cameron releasing a memoir. B, you gonna cop?
Man, I don't know. I try to cop. I want to cop a more hip hop like bios and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
books. So I think I have like I have what's his name? I don't know why I blank. I tried to say his government, but yeah, I have Black Thoughts book.
I think about to say
Um,
Tareen Nasheed. I'm about to say
nah,
that's
nah,
what I
his
thought you was
name,
leaning towards.
nah, because his name's Tariq Trotter. His
Mm-hmm.
name Tariq as well. Black Thought. I still haven't read it, bro. I had this since it dropped. I need to read it. But no, man, I'll check it out. I get it because I used to have Prodigy book, but ebook. I never had it physically. I want to get that physically. I love getting hardcovers. So I want to collect a good amount of like hip hop, paraphernalia. So I might get that Cameron joint. Only the first one. I might not collect all six, whatever he's doing. I don't know if he's doing some nonfiction stuff or some fiction stuff as well after his memoir. So I don't know. I think the memoir might be the first thing that dropped. I
Yeah,
would think so.
currently, the memoir does not have a title, and I
Okay.
guess he's inked a deal of $750,000, which is
Yeah. With
crazy.
Simon and Schuster, right?
Hmm. Which
Hey,
is like a
boy,
big old
he should
publishing
name it
company.
Killer. Killer,
Yeah, do you think that'll sell on the shelves? Be
maybe. Hey, bro, it's hip hop. It's hip
you got to
hop,
be
B.
killer season. Be killer season.
Killer season. Killer season.
Yeah.
Holiday
Uh,
season.
Next piece, next piece of music news and releases. We got Jesus. I cannot speak. Drake's new album, Iceman. We already know there's the lore that Iceman is gay, and that Drake is using this as like a euphemism for him coming out, and that's very insensitive. I know that you were really saddened by this
It's
news.
not a
B.
Michael Kinklinski.
I
Uh,
have no idea. I like the name Iceman because Bobby Drake is hard. Whenever we was watching the X-Men movies back then, he was hard. And in the
yeah,
cartoons, he's hard. Pause on that. Pause, pause,
but
pause.
super pause. But I was thinking of Michael Kinklinski, the hitman that was in the mob.
Mm.
Michael, I think Michael Shannon played him in a movie one time. But now he got to
See, I
like.
don't know much about that.
So I'm really in my mafioso bag. I love
Mm.
Italian mob stuff. But
You love
anyways,
gangsters.
so that's what I was thinking of. He always try to have like this mobster mentality. He have mob ties, and him having like the Michael Kinklinski. He can be like the hitman. I'm out here. I'm gonna do it myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nobody else to do it for me. But why
Well,
they
remember,
called him
he
the
said he was gonna put the
Iceman?
pipe bomb in there, B.
Oh yeah, he did say that. But one thing about Michael Kinklinski, they called him the Iceman because he was stacking so many bodies. He had to start putting them in a deep freezer. He had them in the deep freezer, bro. He the Iceman. You know what I mean? But I'm actually I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm anticipating because I want to know what will Drake come from just a solo Drake project. Because I don't know why people talking about, man. People, I guess they over Drake. Look at Tumazi song. I'm like, bro, it's a freaking featured song. It's not Drake's song, guys. Come on, relax. Like Drake fairly do well on his own solo stuff, especially if it's a single. So when
Hmm.
he come out with his own album, that's when we can really judge the feeling of Drake and how the culture is feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I'm anticipating this. I want to know his direction, and I'm not thinking Drake's going to take a different direction. I actually think he's going to do his same formula. I just hope one thing he switches up is not having it as lengthy as he usually has it. Pause on that,
Okay, thank you.
because it's only Big D in this video proof. Hold on. Anyways, we would. I want like a smooth 15 tracks, at least 50 minutes or something like that. Give us the hits, give us the introspection. Because I feel like yes, I judge Drake on some of his substance, but Drake has substance. He has songs when he actually kind of get a little introspective and things like that. Like, you got
Hmm.
Fear, you can go back to The Calm. There's a lot of tracks that Drake have in his little bag, Dreams Money Could Buy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Even though those are great songs, he's actually, he's talking his talk. But I wanna get him one of those in there too, and also give us a breakdown, flesh out uh your whole mission behind the whole lawsuit. Like, yes, we see what you're trying to put out there, but bro, come on, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? If he would have never did the lawsuit, I think he lost, but him doing a lawsuit made it just be like, come on, man. You know what I mean? It just
It just
sucks.
egged on this whole beef talk way longer. But the thing
Mhm.
is, B, all the people that keep saying he's not hip hop, that we should boycott him, they're gonna be the same people listening to this album. You're gonna be
Oh
the
yeah,
same people trying to dissect the lyrics.
first
That's why
week
Drake
sales
isn't
on
as
this joint.
lyrical.
First week sales on this joint might go stupid because the people
Exactly.
that don't like Drake gonna listen to it. The people
Hmm.
that's middle of Drake, or people just want to know what Drake want to have to say. It's kind of like when the Carter Six dropped.
Sadly.
He should have named his album "Thank Me Now."
Nah, he got to name his last album that B when he retires.
I know I said "Thank Me Later," but said
Even though he
you
already
should
got the
thank me
song called
now.
that.
Yeah, he should drop that.
Like I said on Twitter, I'm super hyped for this. This is the most hype and anticipated I've been for a Drake project since Views. Views disappointed me when I was younger. But going into this, I said he just needs to be focused. He needs to have a great cover. The thing about Drake is that he got some bad covers, man. That certified lover boy for all the dogs. I get that his son made it. Trash covers. And we know when it comes to an album, sometimes, like Common, he got that Finding Forever. Good album, trash cover. So you need a good cover on this. Yes, I judge a book by its cover. Sorry. But like I said, if Drake is concentrated, if he's focused on this project, I hate that I know that he's gonna play the game. I just wish he wasn't because he already has an album earlier this year where he played the game. Drake, give me an album where you're not playing the game and you're just focused, you're locked in, you're concentrated on the purpose, especially with a title like Iceman. Hey, you got to come hard on that. Pause on that. But you got to come correct on there. I'm hyped for this. But yeah, y'all let us know what y'all think about Iceman in the comment section down below. But B, I know you're hyped for this new Gunna album, The Last One, which I want to know why he's calling this The Last One. Like,
You
is
know,
this
he's
his last
wanna be.
album?
He's wanna,
Yeah, but The Last One, like, is I feel like there's supposed to
bro.
be like
A
like,
meaning
oh,
of
you're the last person to win. Like, is it like a double or triple meaning?
is this
But
his last album on YSL?
oh, yeah, I
I
think
think
this
that is what it
is.
is. Yeah. So it's the last one. All right. So what he gonna get him? You know what I mean? I'm gonna check it out. I check out all the Gunna projects. I always like Gunna. Out of the whole little baby and Gunna thing, I was a Gunna guy. So I'm gonna rock with Gunna, man. I liked his last project. Yes, it was top heavy, but I enjoyed it for the most part. And when this dropped, I'm gonna check it out too because this single he put out, I kind of liked it. I ain't return back to it, but I liked the single. I think it was a single. You heard that song? It's called what was it called?
I haven't heard it, but
Was it
I
Wanna?
remember
It
when it
was something
came
about
on. I
stop.
forgot.
Won't stop. It was called Won't Stop. I like the production. I think it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah,
I, don't
Gunna
know,
has
I
just been
just
getting way too samey lately for me. Way too samey.
yeah, Gunna he falls into that tree of like being a samey artist to me.
Mm.
It's like he falls in the line of like it could be boring, but like if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it's some stuff you give me like even like you said on the last album, that first what seven?
That first
That
six tracks,
that's
I'm like,
that's still Gunna, but it's heat. It's heat.
yeah. It's all about the
So I'm saying,
production and the energy you give me on that.
yeah.
When he gets in that lazy,
Mhm.
lackadaisical state of Gunna, I'm like, oh, I could
I,
tell
I
you're just
think he just
faking.
I think he just have to have a point of like kind of shortening up the project or like what's the word? I guess
Mhm.
arranging around
Sequencing.
those songs, the sequencing of them, for you can build around like a hyper, or like you have the lazy flow. Like you kind of gotta put those right. Like sequencing of an album is very important, very
I was
because
gonna
it's
ask you that
it's
too.
up and down. It's very important, bro.
Mhm.
It's like it's one of those things that I don't think people actually realize how important it is because you can be down like, why did you do this? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta keep a steady you know, like
Yeah,
Kendrick's
because
really
I.
good at that. Schoolboy Q, and I think he said Kendrick used to sequence his albums, like actually
Mhm.
do tracking and everything. Like Kendrick good at it. Like you gotta keep that momentum. But I feel like on GNX, it's one point where like I'm like, why did he put this here? What song was that? It was a song. I'm like, why did Kendrick put this here?
But to give a quick point to that,
Go.
I remember Young Thug's album "Business Is Business," the one while he was in jail came out.
Yeah, yeah.
People didn't like it, but then a Metro Boomin version came out where it was Metro's sequencing of the album itself.
Mm,
A lot more people was like, "Yo, I like this album a lot more now." And I'm like, "Yeah,
mhm.
sequencing is a very important thing." Drake was known for really being good at sequencing. Travis Scott, Pierre Bourne with his Life of Pierre
So Much Fun
4 and 5.
was like that too for Young Thug. I
Thug.
like that. I like the first half of that album, but I think he
Mm.
should have just kind of like mixed up some stuff a little bit.
Yeah, So Much Fun to me is his best album, but it is super top heavy because he has some
Yeah.
super good songs at the beginning of that album.
Yeah,
Well,
So
the
Much
first
Fun
half
is
of that
probably
album.
his best. That's the only like when it comes to like I know people love like Barter Six and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
try listening to Barter Six around that time, but to be honest, I know they like Jeffrey as well. But that I don't know from some for some reason I didn't really care for Young Thug in that light like that. You know what I'm saying? But I
Back then
like
for
So
me
Much
too.
Fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, So Much Fun is so good. So much replayability for me.
Hmm.
But did you find out the song from GNX?
I was on it, bro, and I left and went into So Much Fun. I just went to that. It's so crazy because like I was like, dang, we started talking about So Much Fun. I just typed up So Much Fun. It was like, yeah, just looking at the freaking track list, like this was so
Mhm,
top heavy. But like, man, but GNX, I forgot what song it was. Okay, you got Luther, Man in the
mhm,
Garden. Hey
mhm.
now. I think it was Resurrection threw me off. Even though I like that song,
I don't like
Resurrection
that
kind of
song on
threw
the
me off.
project in general.
Yeah. The
But then
GNX,
again,
the
I feel
title
like,
track,
yeah, I
shouldn't
didn't
have
like
probably
that.
been on
I
there.
get it, but yeah,
Mm.
I think I throw off Resurrection before I throw off GNX, the actual title song.
Man on the Garden also was a placement kind of got me because it came right after Luther, which is vibey. But
Mhm,
if you would have put me on Hey Now, because it'd have been like a you got me at a menacing joint, squabbled up Luther, and then Hey Now, say now. You know what I
mhm,
mean? And then you go into like Man in the Garden, kind of slow it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then give me Resurrection, and then give me
mm,
TV off. You know what I'm saying? Because
mm.
some people switch up the sequencing in this album as well. Because some people have problems with it. But I think this is like the only album from Kendrick where I'm like, ugh, this part shouldn't have been, this song shouldn't have been here. It shouldn't have been here. But
Mm.
overall, I still like the album though.
Okay,
Just haven't
okay.
returned to it in a while.
I feel
Mhm.
that. Same. There are some tracks like Peekaboo. That might be my favorite song off the album.
Mhm.
But last music release we have Lil Uzi dropping soon. I know he did some like street interview or whatever. Someone said, "Oh,
Mhm.
when's the new album coming out?" He said summer 2025, and I'm like, "Hi, Uzi." Everybody talking on Twitter like, "Hey, this is your last chance, Uzi." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Look, his last
Yeah.
album was good."
But you know, they didn't like the last album like that, B.
That was a true definition of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he went back to what wasn't broke, and people was like, "Yo, you need to fix this." Huh?
I think it's fatigue.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
I
we
do
just got to
too.
be honest when
That
we
and
have
aging up.
fatigue for artists. So it's kind of hard to like critique them because like I'm doing what you like, but like it's just right now I just don't like what you're giving me because I'm tired of it. I think we have a few artists that we love that we have fatigue on. You know what I'm saying? I think it happens. You might
Like
can go back
I
to it
got
though.
future fatigued out. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. That
yeah,
Pluto, that mixtape Pluto last year, I'm like, I like it, but I'm like, this
yeah.
ain't all the way it for me, future. Them first two
It,
projects you came out with at the top of the year, yeah, that was it.
mhm. That's like the biggest fatigue I ever had was like Griselda fatigue as a whole. I had
Mhm.
Griselda fatigue. I had Kid Cudi fatigue at one point, especially when he was just putting out bad stuff. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, bro, I'm done with
You sure you
this.
still ain't doing that?
Come on, man. Come on. What are you talking about, man? Leave him alone, B. Come on. Um, yeah. I think Griselda was like the one that really because they also put a volume of music out. Like Bodie James, I don't have Bodie fatigue. I'm just gonna not listen to every Bodie project just so I can
Hmm.
stay loving Bodie because like the new Nicholas Craven he's dropping, I know it's gonna be dope because the singles they've been dropping be
Hmm. I haven't been
fire.
listening to him.
Spiderweb and Windshields is still one of my favorite songs this year, bro. I love that song.
Mm.
The production, how Bodie was because Bodie gonna rap, bro. He's gonna rap. So
All right, B, let us know what's dropping this week.
man, nothing. I only one I had was freaking Smoke Dizza on my way to Berlin. He has good collaborators with a lot of his past, his friends in the industry that's gonna be on here. I really didn't have much, and I wanted to like kind of like do like a hip hop fact. Remember, I was saying I was gonna bring up something with like different albums that came out this day. This day we're recording, June 29th, 2025. And also it's the anniversary of Drake Scorpion. Come on, one of my favorite Drake albums. You know what
We
I'm
might have
saying?
to do a review of that soon.
Some people say take off like 5 to 6 tracks. This probably would be his best album. And I'm like, hey, I'm just saying, bro, you take a few tracks off here, bro. This is a really good album. I'm sorry.
This is what I'm saying. The sequencing really plays a part into a classic. Well, just into a good album in general, because
that first,
if you take 5 tracks off, mix it in with that first disc, and it all be just one disc. Oh my god, that would be such a good album.
It to me, I call Scorpion a classic just personally for me, but it's a classic in Scorpion if you remove some songs off there, even if it's some songs that I like
for that era.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm just saying like a song where it's like, I mean, like an album where it's like, okay, all right, he didn't miss. You know what I'm saying? Because out of that double disc, you could make a 15 to 16 track album to me with no misses. I maybe have to relook at the track list, but that I love that.
I agree. And most of the misses will come off that disc too.
Yeah. But June 29, 1989, we got Lupac Sound Pieces. If anybody not familiar with Lupac, that was a Madlib's group, which was dope. I love that album. We got The Alchemist, First Infantry, you know what I'm saying? That was his debut like album. And then we got The Carter. Bro, The Carter came out June 29 and 2004. You know what I'm saying? Wayne Carter. We got Slum Village, Detroit Deli, A Taste of Detroit, one of my favorite Slum Village projects, after the Dilla era. And then we got Lloyd Banks, your favorite, B, your guy, The Hunger Games. You know this album, right?
That's the first one. I'm So Fly.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I believe so.
And
then we got Goody Mob dropped One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. I actually listened to like Goody Mob's like discography last year. I didn't really care for this song. I mean, this album, I don't believe. And
listen, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. Is CeeLo Green on that one?
Yeah, that's like their third album, right? Their third or fourth album.
I put in CeeLo Green.
Is CeeLo on there?
Jesus,
CeeLo should be on that album. Yeah,
I'm about to say because it said One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. So what that's supposed to mean?
CeeLo on there, right? He in the cover.
I'm trying to look.
Am I bugging?
You said One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. Let me see. I don't think where is CeeLo on this cover? Is he the monkey?
Is CeeLo not on there?
B, I think that was the reason for that title. Let me see.
Oh, that's true, bro.
That's why I was like, that's the one without CeeLo. I was like,
yeah, that's the one without CeeLo. Hey, my bad.
Hey, B, that's why I said One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. Hey, that monkey did stop the show.
That's probably why I didn't like this album. CeeLo wasn't on it. That's why. But those were the albums that released that I found. I didn't go through everything. I tried. I just, these are albums that I've seen. If any of you guys have any memories with any of these albums, man, y'all could talk about them in the comments of the episode. But yeah, not much was shaking on June 29th, man. I was trying to find like some historical things that happened in hip hop on the 29th of June, but I couldn't find nothing but the BET Awards 4th award, annual award for that. And like the change, they said it was like around 2004 was like the change of R&B, like the bigger stars like Usher and Beyonce and all those guys just like kind of really took off.
Yeah. Because
I was like, dang, I ain't even look. Yeah. So. But yeah, man. What else we got, B, in the news, man?
50 Cent playing Balrog in the live action Street Fighter movie. If you guys do not know what Street Fighter is a very popular franchise of fighting games. Most notably with the character Ryu, and you probably heard of the Shoryuken, Hadouken. Like if you've heard of that, if you know what a video game is, that's probably one of the most recognizable characters besides Mario and Sonic. But or sounds, I mean. But yeah, 50 Cent is supposed to be playing Balrog. I think Andrew Schultz is supposed to be playing Dan. Dang, what's that boy's name? But he's one of the funny characters that's kind of like a jokester. But I'm wondering, like, how is he gonna play that character when he's so small? But 50 Cent playing Balrog kind of makes sense. I just hope 50 actually has the acting chops to deliver well.
Bro, this movie about to be like Mortal Kombat, like them bad movies.
Oh, the older ones or the newer ones? They said the newer ones is all right. They fine.
I say the older ones in.
The first older one was all right. The first one. They was a bit cheesy, but I think everything.
Not the ones I've seen. And they tried to remake one like in like the early 2010s. It was ass.
Well,
I'm
you
saying
talking
the
about that
year.
machinima, that machinima
I don't
remake
remember
on
what it was,
YouTube?
but I remember I watched it. It was bad.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to video game adaptations, obviously Sonic has broken the curse. And that's
Those
about
Sonic movies are
Super
ass.
Mario game.
Those Sonic
You're
movies are
bugging.
ass,
You're
bro.
bugging.
I
Okay,
watched
see,
them with
now
my
you're wilding.
son. Them movies,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
loves Sonic.
Oh
B,
yeah, he has great taste.
them movies suck. I was
See,
like,
you're
how do
bugging.
people like these
You're
movies?
wilding.
It's too much nostalgia, bro. The jokes
B, I
don't
think the thing
land.
I think the thing is you gotta remember like who's the movie made for, and you gotta remember like what Sonic is at that what Sonic is. It perfectly embodies kind of what and who he is, especially in a live action
B, I get that.
feat.
I know who it's from. And me
Uh-huh.
being an adult, it's cheeks.
Did you
Speaking
like
from an
Sonic
adult
like that
lens.
growing up?
Yeah, I used to watch the cartoon and I played the games and everything. Come on, bro. I rock with Amy. Come on, bro.
Okay, good.
Knuckles. Come on, man. Tails. Come on, man. Mr.
You didn't like see, I can see
Bro,
it being cheesy and kiddie because the Eggman jokes and all that, they kind of do go on for a bit too long sometimes. But those movies are
B,
pretty good.
man, I watched all three with my son. He watched them.
He watching them with the old man lenses. That's the
B, but boy, I
problem.
watched this. I watched the Mario movie with him. Fire. I liked it.
Yeah, fire. That's the
I'm
other
still
movie
a
that broke
kid
the
at
curse.
heart, B. You know what I'm
Not if you're not
saying?
liking the Sonic movie, B. That might be
Those
your
Sonic
ticket
movies.
out.
I was
Hey,
like,
go ahead, just get that retirement home room ready, B. Go ahead, get
no,
it
B.
ready.
I looked over at my wife. I'm like, is it me? But these movies are ass. Like she was like,
You're
yeah, they not that
bugging.
good.
You got to look at them for fun, B. Not the articulation of the way the script writing it. No,
Nah,
look at it
bro.
for
Tyler Perry
fun.
directed and wrote them movies, boy.
Okay, yeah. See, now you being disrespectful. Hip hop docuseries called "Hip Hop Was Born Here" coming to Paramount Plus on July 22nd. Executive produced by LL Cool J. Believe it's supposed to have like interviews from some of the
Mhm.
older legacy acts within hip hop. Like I believe, not Cool Mo D, but I believe BDK, Big Daddy Kane is supposed to be on there
Okay.
as
Got
someone
some
supposed to
Melly
be.
Mel, some Melly Mellies.
Yeah, I will be tuned in to watch this. Method Man, Jadakiss, Dougie Fresh, Roxanne Shanti, Reverend, Marley Marl.
Yeah,
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane.
Marley Marl on there. Yeah. Hold up. What
Yeah,
did Melly Mel say to Eminem in that beef track? Like a something was in your bag. What did he say?
I don't know, but he needs to stick to being going to the gym and not rapping. I
Oh,
know
bro.
that. That's for sure.
Bro, Melly Mel said a wild bar, bro. Like a snake was in your backpack or something like that. He said to that man, bro.
Hmm. Someone put on the comments, this is what old boy needs to study. Who are you talking about?
They talking about
Irene.
they probably talking about oh boy, they talking about Matt probably. What's the dirt? What's the dirt been having some beef, boy? He been going back and forth with Deleted and
Mm,
Punch and
yeah.
all these people, bro.
I like some of the jabs he had, but then it got a little too serious. I'm like, this is getting corny now.
Yeah, man.
Because I was like, I was agreeing with your sentiments, but now that you doubling down a bit too hard, you tripling and quadrupling down, I'm like,
Who you talking about? Which one?
what's the dirt? Because
What
I
do you
agree with
trip?
what's the dirt's takes on Deleted kind of hides behind that anime profile
Hmm.
picture and the voice
Hmm.
changer thing, which I get it's a gimmick, but you still are hiding behind it technically.
Yeah,
He's like, how you gonna judge other people, but you don't even show yourself? And I'm like,
yeah,
he got a. I'm like, WTD got a point. I'm like, he got a
yeah,
point. But then it's like when they kept egging each other on, I'm like, this kind of got corny. Like I didn't
yeah.
need the back and forth. Like you put a little bar like that, that's almost like the Jay-Z D sucking lips thing. I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
like that's hard then. But if Nas would have doubled down and tripled down on like went into explanation, I'm like, yeah, man, that's corny. Like just give me the bar, and I'm cool with it.
Right on.
But yeah, that's about all we have, B, for hip hop news and current
Hey,
events.
hey, man. We can just get into it, B.
Because we got no music to review. We said that earlier, so make sure you check out the what we've been jamming. This hip hop sucked this year, B.
B. Into the Dome was telling you earlier, bro. Earlier this year, bro. It's a light week. It's a light year. But do, do you want to
It's
talk about our list before we start to talk about how we feel about hip hop this year?
we could talk about our mid year list. We could start with some of the stuff that we've been really enjoying this year, some of the stuff we've been going back to, and some of the stuff we highly liked.
So
Yeah, we
so
can go with our list,
so
B.
so before we have our grievances with the year of hip hop this year, we're gonna talk about, we're gonna shine light on the projects we do like,
Mhm.
and what should be checked out. So it's not all gloom because I think it's not about the quality for me. You know what I'm saying? It's more of
Mhm.
the what are we gonna support? Like what the people supporting, the people are talking about. hip hop is back, hip hop is here, this is what we want. But we have so many other artists that's actually putting out the music, putting out the dope albums, but we really not supporting them like that because they act like, oh, these are lesser known artists, but like, bro, every artist come from a lesser known, you know what I'm saying, background, but we know what comes with the politics when it comes to like the labels and oh, they independent, they not getting pushed like that, right? So if we notice that, if we look at hip hop from what it is, and like we know hip hop is not known for underground scene, it's no way you can say hip hop is back. No way. You can say hip hop is back if you base it off what we see as a whole in the mainstream. Want to know why? And Dom said this on his video they put out a few weeks ago. Niggas is so excited for a Clips album, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, same.
It's not a problem. The problem is, what are the other artists, the newer artists, other artists that's been around? Where are they dropping? Where our excitement for their projects? We're excited for Eclipse. I want to know why? Because they've been gone for like 15 years. So the people that love them, love the work, we're excited for that album. But it should be other things. Bro, I remember doing most anticipated album for the year. Like, oh man, I can't wait till this drop. B, did we do that this year? Did we even think about any of that?
I think the problem is there's a lack of like releases that we know are coming out. And we find out when they're coming out when a Twitter page says, oh, this album coming soon. What is coming soon? Because Pierre Bourne was coming soon for like 2 years. Pause on that. He was coming soon for 2 years.
Are you thinking Beyonce ruined the music industry with the surprises and no rollouts?
She's ruined it, but also it just shows like the power of like, instead of me putting all my ad and marketing dollars into that, I can just drop it and y'all just share it for free. I don't need no promo rollout for this.
Like, yes,
GNX dropped. Everybody, well, it was a surprise project. Yeah, but by the end of Friday, you knew Kendrick Lamar came out with a new album because everybody was talking about it on that Friday. I hate when people use that excuse. If you're a big artist and you drop, everybody gonna know. When Drake randomly dropped If You're Reading This Too Late, everybody was talking about it this weekend. Know Yourself was a big song by the time Monday came around, and everyone at my college, where I was going to college school at, knew that song, at least that one song. Stop it. We got to stop this with the whole surprise rollouts. Oh, they would have done bigger numbers if the rollout was big. Shut up. We knew you going to have time to listen to a goddamn album, a 1 hour album throughout a whole weekend. You got time, goddamn. You going to split it up, but you got time. Let's not act like these out. Taylor Swift drop right now, B. Guess what? Well, not my side of the Twitter. Yeah, they going to know and they going to spread it. They going to show love to it. Obviously, my TL won't show that because I don't follow anyone that listens to Taylor Swift, but it's gonna somehow pop up in my algorithm now.
Yeah, and it's saying, like this. We talked about how we don't like the rollout from the clips, or like just the antics of what Pusha T's doing, but the traditional rollout is a thing that I think we need. I think we still need the build up. We need the build up. I think we had a conversation about rollouts important, right? Didn't we talk about that like earlier this year?
But no, yeah, because we had the conversation. Our rollouts needed. And we was talking about big artists like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Drake, J. Cole, and all that. Like J. Cole's might delete later, B. That's a good example too.
Right. Like them guys is different. Guys like what Clips is doing, guys like Schoolboy Q, guys like Absol, guys like J-Rock. Like it's guys at that mid-tier lane, even like Vince Staples, all them type of guys. They need like rollouts. The Futures, the Travis Scotts, they just got to tell you the album's coming. And their fans are gonna be ready. But when it comes to people that's trying to reintroduce themselves, like what the Clips doing, they reintroducing themselves to a whole new audience. People just know Pusha T, but they don't know Malice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is it. This rollout is a smart rollout. I understand it. Yeah, I don't like the antics. I think that's whack. But I understand why it's making the moves and have everybody talking, right? It's like even with Jim doing a rollout right now for nothing. He just talking about Nas, but it's like, it sucks. I don't like that. It's corny to me. I like, let the music speak for itself. Like, I know what Jim is doing. He know how to get everybody talking about him. That's like the new way of like getting, people and eyes on you. But it's like, bro, it's whack. But at the same time, it's working. Get yourself out there.
He said this bait has gotten his streams up.
Go to Yeah, because everybody like, oh, who is Jim Jones? Let me go listen to him. Let me go see what he's about. So it's like how he's doing it, it's whack, but
So
it's has some sting to it. It's working.
B, I gotta ask you a question because back then you would need to do a rollout because boom, you gotta get people's eyes on you. You put the
Mhm.
music video out, you put the song out, you gotta get the songs from radio plays, you gotta get the songs from radio buzz. The people start announcing on the radio like, oh, so and so's album, this is the song from so and so's album that's coming out this week. We really don't have that no more. We basically have Twitter pages that kind of either do it for free or they get paid behind the walls. I mean,
Mhm.
behind the, you know what I'm saying? They get paid behind the
Mhm.
scenes to advertise these
Also with
albums.
YouTube reactors as well.
hmm So it's like I hate to say it like this. The new form of a rollout is paying these social media people instead of paying for advertisements to help push that song out, push that
Mhm.
thing out. Because there's so many people that's reacting to a clip song. I'm like, y'all not in the clips. Like, come on, y'all
Mhm.
not even that old. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like clips, but I never even listened to a full album by clips until maybe like last year, I think.
Yeah.
I've heard the singles, I've heard the songs, but I've never fully listened to a Clips album like that. Nor have I heard people really talk about Clips like that when I was growing up.
Mhm.
So yeah, rollouts are needed for certain artists, especially with artists coming from that elk back then of them being in the early 2000s. You had to put a single out back then. You couldn't just surprise drop it. Your CD was in store and no one knew about it because you had people that actually had to go and buy it physically.
I think mid-tier artists should like B tier like artists should roll out. Each rollout. I think we need to be talking about you, your album, your single. We need to see you. We even need to see you before you're we need to see you when you're not rolling out an album.
Mhm,
You're not Kendrick Lamar. You're not Drake.
mhm. You can't be mysterious. You're not the
We
weekend.
they're already we're not in touch with them. Like, yes, you used to can tweet at Drake or like Kendrick and all them. That's when they was younger. I mean, they were like, younger into the game and stuff like that. But right now, those guys, we need to see you around still, even if you're not pushing out anything, because you are a product. You are yourself a product. You have to market yourself towards people. We have to buy into you. So I think the rollout is needed. And I think that right now, hip hop is also dealing with oversaturation. I think the music industry as a whole. But when it comes to mainstream hip hop and why I think it's such a mid year is because of the artists that I said, that I think that we should be pushing a little more. We're not focusing on that. We're caught up into this stand war with Drake and Kendrick, and I think it's clouding everybody from actually, you know, listening to the music. I don't even know if people listen like they think they listen to music because they too busy talking about the Drake and Kendrick beef. They too busy worrying about Drake fake abs, which are disgusting. Drake, this it's like the nigga got them out of a cereal box or something, like a little treat and just put them on his
I
phone.
haven't seen the picture. I've seen comments on the picture, but I
Oh,
haven't
that's
actually seen the picture.
yeah, but nah, but that's some bad abs, bro. That's some bad works. But I think that with the discourse, like yeah, we do reviews, but reviews are not popular no more. You at most, you probably have over 100 because I'm speaking for channels I don't even know about. You might have over 100 plus channels on YouTube actually doing reviews on albums. That's not happening no more. Nobody actually reviewing albums no more. Nobody actually talking about the music and getting out there. Because when you go to hip hop culture, it's a lot of like hot takes. It's a lot of think pieces going on about artists and why they happen this, why so and so don't like this person. It's a lot of that going on. And
Mm.
which it sucks because sometimes I have to feed into it because I'm trying to get in the algorithms. I want people to watch some of our videos and go to the channel and actually watch us talk about music because not many people watch. They don't watch the music, B. They don't look at the
Mm.
music. How much I love that in hip hop, bro. You can go look at their channel now and you look at their review. They don't do reviews as much anymore. They have another, thing dedicated towards it when they do more. But if you go to their main channel, they barely excuse me, they barely do reviews because not many people gonna go to it unless it's like a huge artist. But like nobody's watching it no more. They're not talking about the music in a way it should be talked about. It's like a discourse like, oh, was he throwing shots at him? Or was he doing this? Why is J what really happened with J. Cole? Is J. Cole J. Cole is overrated? And
hmm
it's just you have to get into those type of talks, and it's like want to have the hot take, want to have this think piece around the artist now. And
This is
it's
shade
getting
room era of hip hop.
yeah, bro, we're not talking about the music no more, and it sucks because great is people that's putting out really dope music. But the channels that big enough to talk about it, they're not gonna talk about it. And if they try to talk about it, they're not gonna get no views from it. So they're not gonna talk about it. They're not.
It
Bro,
is a
we put
business at the end of the day.
it is a business. You know what I'm saying? And like with us, we been authentic. Like we talk about Shay Noir. We put the clip out about her, bro. What, like 6 views? Like we're a smaller channel, so I'm not expecting us to have like crazy views. But I'm like, nobody want to watch that. They don't care no more. Like that's not. We are built off negativity. That's just across the board. You look at the charts, right? If you want to look at the mainstream, I'm talking about like 100, the top 100. You look at the R&B charts, hip hop R&B charts. It's a few artists in there, of course, because they have to chart that. But if you go on the top 100, we're not dominating nowhere. Albums, like look at Carter 6, bro. All that stuff dropped off like what, 2 weeks later. The only song that still be on there is like I think it's still in the top 200, the albums. But if you look at the top 100, I think all the songs are dropping. They're dropping. I think hip hop is the song that's still on there with Big X the Plug, and people like that because of the hook.
I told you, it's the voice that people like about him. And I told you that's the radio song right there, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm about that hip hop. Hey, got that two shot.
The Bobos,
He from Texas, bro. He from up the road. And hey, yo, ditch your stuff, man. I heard you got a country album coming out. People are anticipating, but hip hop is in a bad spot right now, and people are not being honest. They're not being honest, B. They're not. Go look at Kendrick is the only person benefiting from this.
Well,
and Drake is still benefiting from it.
But B, he wanted to watch the party die, and now look at it. It's dead.
I got people tried to kill me on the timeline last week because that one chick on Twitter that was kind of going at everybody about one guy compared Kendrick Jean scheme. He did I think he did a scheme like Jen. It was one of those. He did a scheme on the Pusha T. I mean the Clips track, and the guy was comparing it to the scheme and the flow of what Drake was doing on the Irish fighting Irish freestyle or whatever. I think it was fighting Irish or whatever. He was just like, yo, he's just flipping the word. Like a lot of artists do this. And then she brought up the term advanced lyricism. And I'm like,
oh, I remember that. Her name was like Hershey Chocolate.
Yeah, and they all trying to kill me saying I'm stupid. And I was saying this. I was like, the point that I'm saying to y'all is just because someone don't like the art you like doesn't mean it's not meaningful to you. Not meaning it's gonna be, just because it's meaningful for you, it's not gonna be meaningful for everybody. We all know it's subjective, and that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, why do we sit here and degrade people and talk down on them just because you saying they stupid, they ignorant, they don't understand what's going on in the verse? Just because it's a deeper meaning in the verse, don't mean someone's gonna connect to it. That's why when it comes to certain rappers, when you talk about coke rap or people that's just really barring down, it's really no connection to the lyrics. They just know it's a dope bar. It's fire. I like the way they delivered it. I like the way they said it. But they were saying, oh, someone's saying this and this and this, and he flipped this and that. And like, how do you not like this? They pretty much saying like, why you don't like this? It just didn't connect with me. Like what he did, I seen people not doing it before, and I seen him do it better. I'm not moved by it. And they was just, bro, they was trying to kill me, B. They would call me, oh, like, look, he didn't respond to this. I'm like, bro, I'm done talking to y'all. I told y'all that it's subjective, bro.
Well, B, Kendrick Lamar discovered lyricism. That's why. It was Nas, then Kendrick. Those are the only two lyricists to ever exist.
Kiko had a tweet that I so agree with, bro. He said he know Lupe is this why Lupe Manic. This why Lupe be throwing a little salt at Kendrick. Because this dude does the craziest stuff lyrically, scheme-wise, that you won't even pick up to. Like this dude is crazy when it comes to
like you got to go on Genius to decode it. Like you got to.
Genius don't even know it. They be wrong. And it's so crazy that they give Kendrick like this crazy praise. But I'm like, bro, Kendrick's dope. I love Kendrick music. But I'm like,
same.
But I'm like, bro, it's people out here that's doing that
tenfold,
3 times better, bro. Like crazy.
Because Kendrick is sacrificing to have the appeal towards the mainstream
to do it. And
while artists like a Billy Woods or Lucid and things like that, they're gonna go over your head. And I'm like, I don't know what the F they talking about.
And they're gonna actually talk about political things and things that are deeper. Kendrick is not fit to sacrifice his freaking his career for that. Because I'm like, y'all try to talk about corporations and people being bought, and he's one. And they were like, oh, Kendrick's not. They always try to say Kendrick a darling, bro. All the bigger artists like in Kendrick and like Drake and all them guys, they are darlings. They are the money. They are the money. They're not for to sacrifice that. And I'm like, y'all give all these praises. People talking about like they grassroots. I'm like, Billy Woods, even Kendrick said it. If hip hop was what he said, if hip hop like lyricism or something, Killer Mike could be platinum. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care, B.
They
Even he
don't.
know it. You have to dumb yourself down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to. That's why I'm saying if we love lyricism so much, a lot of these artists we talk about week to week, that they will be way more established. Because back then, I can give back then a little bit of credit, right? That at least back then it wasn't really like this underground like that. So the guys that was actually really rapping, they had to get they had some type of hits, and it wasn't like this formulaic hit. They
Mm-hmm.
actually was rapping on their stuff. So I give them that point. But if you look at it today, B, and you look at the
Mm.
top 100, you look at the hip hop charts, if you look at the charts, the tracks that people saying that hip hop is not back for, them tracks are still charting. But if you look at the top tracks, it's just one person. Well, two people. You look at Drake and you look at Kendrick Lamar. But other than that, you got the Moneybag Yo type of tracks. You got the Big X the Plug type of tracks. These
The
not
finesse
lyrical
two
miracle tracks.
times.
Yeah, these
Mm-hmm.
not hip
Boss man
hop.
D-Lows.
Bro, come on, man. It's so be it or not. Is if Ace Trumpets is that charting?
I highly doubt it. I'm trying to look at the charts right now, but it's telling me I gotta subscribe, which
Yeah,
is
the hip hop R&B
stupid.
charts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
stupid.
so I'm just saying, bro, we have to be honest with ourselves. I love hip hop. If I have any disagreement with any of you Kendrick Lamar fans, y'all say only like one artist. They was in there like pretty much trying to say I was a Drake fan. When I just posted an art piece I got from Kendrick Lamar. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, what are y'all talking about? And look, B, before we get into our list, it's a whole nother thing that we need to talk about through what Punch said. You saw that Punch tweet that got him in What's the Dirt back and
You
forth?
talking about the thing like if you're a Drake fan, you're probably a Trump fan or something like that?
Yeah. It was on the
Uh-huh.
lines of that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I should have had it.
I'm looking at the top 10 of Billboard right now. Lil Tecca's in there. SZA SOS is in there.
Are you talking about
GNX is in
albums,
there.
the top 200?
Yeah. Top 200 of the albums.
Yeah.
And
The
Some
albums.
Sexy Songs for You is in there.
Yeah. But B, I'm talking about
Uh
hip hop is back. Tekka, when they would say hip hop is back with Tekka, they say hip hop wants something different, bro.
yeah, and Tecca
Let me
even
see if I
said it
can find
himself.
it.
There's like 30 other artists that sound just like him. If I'm looking at
Yeah.
top Billboard artists, Kendrick is in there, SZA's in there, The Weeknd's in there. That's it. Black artist
Okay,
wise.
this what Punch
Morgan
said.
Wallen's number one.
Oh yeah, of course. This bro, country is like the biggest genre right now. Country is back. But look, this what Punch said. The divide in hip hop is insane. It's like it's two different ideologies. The battle may have been the catalyst, but it feels like it's been bubbling for a while. No matter the topic it is, you can tell clearly who falls on what side. So this reminds me of like the tweet. This is one chick. She has like beef with Joe Budden them, and Ish said he didn't like what's the movie that came out with Michael B. Jordan them? Sinners.
Sinners.
And they said, look, he was the same person liking Drake. So he won't like the Sinners movie. Those type of people are technically they the coons. Sorry if you want to bleep that out. The Uncle Toms, they probably like Trump. So they trying to divide this, bro. Bro, that is dangerous. And it's also
Very.
the people that want to be critical thinkers, open-minded, it's more nuance. Y'all dead ass just shut all that down when y'all go against somebody. And I don't like that. I'm like, y'all pick and choose when y'all want to have nuance and do critical thinking.
I
Because once it
agree.
because once it comes to someone that y'all don't like, y'all just totally disagree off the bat, no critical thinking at all. And I'm
Hmm.
like, the people that's so smart, all they do is read, don't critical think when it comes to things they don't like. So it is what it is. But it is what it is, B. I'm sick of these niggas.
I know. Yeah, that Hershey chocolate person that I saw on Twitter, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is so stupid. And I saw her do another take. I forgot what the take was. I forgot what it was. I think it was aimed at What's the Dirt. And I'm like, this is so stupid.
Yeah,
Where did this
bro.
account come from? This is just chilling with Moni part two right here.
Yeah, bro, she's just super wordy and thinks she's just smart. I'm like, girl, I'm not finna go because I said we get to these conversations and they become pretentious. Because
Hmm.
one side just trying to make another side look dumb when I'm just really trying to have a conversation about subjectiveness and how we just really can't be real with each other because we sit on two different sides of an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like we want this artist to always win. He can't put out nothing bad, or like you have to like this because they was like art have a deeper meaning. And I'm like me, they thought I was saying no art has no deeper meaning. I'm just saying just because that art means something to you don't mean it's gonna mean anything to me. That
That's
don't
what
mean I
art
have to
is.
connect with it. That's what art is. It's subjective. Oh, so she told me lyricism is not subjective, B. She says no subjective in lyricism. I say, girl, I was in my head like, what? You got people that don't even say freaking two chains of lyricists, or they don't even say who else we had a whole thing. They were like, is he lyrical? Scarface. It was some other people we was talking about. People think lyrical is wordy and always doing this and that. Bro, one of
Hmm.
the most prolific lyricists in music history is Bob Dylan. This nigga, get the fuck, bro. And I'm not trying to listen to no Bob Dylan. And nigga, music sucks. And people just think
Hmm.
because I'm wordy and I'm rapping well and I'm doing these schemes that this supposed to sound good. Sonically, it sucks. It doesn't sound good. I'm not pleased by these beats. How is
I've
that a
been saying
problem?
the same thing. I've been
B,
saying the same thing.
B, why they just can't understand it? Like me, when I know you don't like something, I always be like, B, you might not like this. I never tell
Hmm.
you, oh yeah, bro, you just don't know. But I understand.
Hmm.
I know what you like. So I recommend stuff that I know. This dude's spitting, and he also gonna be on some production you gonna like.
Hmm.
He's saying some
Luca.
stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's like I know what to. That's why I'm like, yo, B, I'm not even gonna recommend you this. It's certain stuff
Hmm.
I won't even because I know you probably ain't gonna like the production. Because I know me, I'm into words, I'm into storytelling. Production sometimes comes second to me. Sometimes it depends on the
Hmm.
artist. But man, get out of it, bro. I just don't like when these people be so pretentious and then try to flip everything like you're
Look, I knew the
stupid.
divide. Look, I knew the divide came when everybody was hyping up that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That's why I knew the divide was here. I'm like, sonically, y'all like this? Y'all think this is his best album compared to Dang, to Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, Section
Mhm.
80? I said, I know where the turn is now. To me, that was the turning point now in this space. I'm like, oh, y'all think lyricism can get your way out of actually making good sounding records? I was like,
And also is Kendrick. Some of these people they become they like I said, the parasocialism, the connection to these artists, they look at them like they gods. These niggas are human to me. I look at their
mm-hmm,
music. I don't hold these people up to no standard at all. They the same as me. So it's like they have these complexes that they can't disconnect themselves from these artists, bro. That's when the whole like relating to an artist really these people, oh, I relate to them. The older I got, the more I didn't have no more favorite artists. I didn't connect to no artists like that. I just got older. I'm a grown man, bro. I got a family to take care of. I listen to music. If it connected me with like something lyrically or cool, I'm like, oh, the subject matter is dope. But I have no connection with these artists. When I was a kid and I was younger, to be honest, I did because I was young. You looking for someone to look up to, you don't understand. But when you get older and actually live life, man, I don't have no more favorite artists. B, I don't say nobody my favorite no more. I have a
oh,
favorite
I do.
album. I don't. I
Mhm.
just don't. I don't look at these man. F these niggas, man.
I
I don't
got
know.
favorite artists though.
I ain't
God
got no
dang
more
it.
favorite. I
I
ain't got no
understand though.
favorite. Yeah, but I don't got no more favorite artists, bro. But you
Yeah.
ain't the person to have a favorite artist and everything they do you like. You gonna
Oh yeah,
if you don't like
because
something, you gonna say something.
hmm sadly, and I've had to do it with one of my favorites last year with Bun B. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, this album ain't good, bud. This ain't good.
it's
And I've done
Buns
that
B.
plenty of times. Uh, Disrespectful. I've done this plenty of times with Drake too. Oh, I've done it way more times with Drake than any other
Mm-hmm.
artist. Freddie Gibbs is the only artist where I'm like, you haven't put out anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
This scares me.
But yeah,
But
B.
B, let's go ahead and get into these lists or some of the albums that we really like. What are some of the albums you like, B?
Man, I have one album I want to highlight. Bruiser Wolf, Potluck. It's one of my
Mm.
favorites so far, man. Bruiser Wolf is a guy he's like a nursery rhyme. Like he rhymes and he's like these punchy, funny, witty lines, bro. Like some of the stuff he says, you just like, what the hell? That sound corny, but it's just I don't know. It's just so different. It's that charm to it. And this the Pollock man, I like he focused. He worked with a good amount of producers. They gave him different type of sounds, not too crazy like over the like. Oh, what are you doing on here? He fit on every beat to me perfectly. He had some cool features, man. I just think this dope, man. He got more eyes on him now from this right here. I feel like he got way more eyes from this because a lot of people was actually talking about this. And yeah. But nah, Bruiser Wolf, Potluck is one of my projects so far this year that I'm rocking with, man.
All
What
right.
about you, B? What's one?
My next one. And like I said, this was a surprise. I talked about this. This isn't my number one or anything. I'm not gonna go in order. That Juicy J and Logic, man. Just thinking about it, whenever I hear some
Mhm.
songs come up on my Spotify recommended,
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
like,
gotta get
God
that. Hold up.
dang. I'm like, I never knew Juicy would try and get into this pocket, even though it still got the Juicy J isms about it. And I was like, yo, Logic is in this. I'm like, I don't know. But Logic's production style, them talking about the BPMs of which Juicy J was rapping on and type of beats that he was rapping on, I'm like, Juicy really surprised me with this. And just like him and Two Chainz getting into this more older, elder statesman bag of hip hop, southern hip hop acts, but actually kind of wanted to get more like lyrical with it. It's just a bag that I didn't expect for them to get into. But yeah, Juicy J and Logic, live and in color, definitely a project that surprised me that I really enjoyed. That I want to replay some more.
Hey man, I had to add that to my library. I totally forgot. I totally
Mhm.
forgot about it. But my next another project I want to highlight for this year, bro, is Fly Anakin, The Forever Dream. I talked about it. I like this project. This one that I don't go back to the full album as much right now. I haven't had that time. But like you said, some of the songs pop up in my like liked on my playlist. I click and like I love the production on here, the concept he has, the Quayle Chris on here, the rapping. Come on, bro. The features, man. He has some of my favorite guys that just can get on the track and just spit, B. You know what I'm saying? And just sound really good over some lush, beautiful samples, production on here. Man, I don't know why this production on here just felt I don't know, it felt very not big, but dang, it's a word. You have the word lush, but it's like something else that I can't explain it.
Grandiose.
I wouldn't even use that one. But anyways, uh Fly Anakin, The Forever Dream. If you guys ain't checked it out, it's a dope project, man. Check it out.
All right. I gotta go into my raccoon tunes on this one, B.
Do
Playboy
your
Cardi's
thing.
I Am Music. This is an album that I play a good amount at work when I want to just do something. I just want to have some music playing. Even though Playboy Cardi overloaded this project and he gave us skeletons, drafts, references, there's still some songs on here that I really like. Fine ish. Really do enjoy it. I enjoy the songs with Kendrick Lamar on them as some of the features. Uh, Not saying like he was the main reason I like him, but those are the few songs I like. Besides the one where he's ad libbing saying, "Hey Cardi, man, you know
Yeah,
Cardi,"
then
like
the
besides
extraterrestrials
that
already.
one,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Besides
Yeah,
that one, like
yeah.
good credit, fine ish. Uh, rather I lie, whatever the song is called,
I
and
read a
some of the
lie.
like super heavy like trap rage like instrumental songs like with him and Travis Scott, and him and Future. There was just a good amount of stuff on I Am Music that I really enjoyed. I'm still waiting for the vinyl to come in, which it should be coming in this week.
Yeah.
I really want to give that a few more spins. I've been living in the I Am Music, man. I've been really enjoying it. There's a lot of tracks on there that I go back to that I really enjoy from Cardi. But
hmm
yeah, Playboy Cardi's I Am Music project that I really enjoy.
Hey, okay. Another project I want to highlight. Rayvon's The Good, the Bad, the Dollar Menu. I know Rayvon
Mm,
had little people talking about him with his little beef. You hear that phone ringing, B? You hear the phone ringing? It's my mom calling me. But I actually enjoyed this project. I haven't went back to it at all, but I listened to it a good amount. I got the introspection, some of the West Coast. I know he wear a good amount of his influences, honestly, mostly in his camp, but I feel like he still has his own personality. I love the storytelling in this, the introspection, and I think each track was a good track. And then also he, commented on our review of it. He said he felt slighted, but come on, man, we gonna be honest. We gonna be honest on here. There's no hard feelings. I know artists are sensitive about their music, and I understand. And also, you was like I said, you was very introspective on this, so this probably hold really dear to your heart. And shout out to him. Freshman year, just signed a deal. I think it was RCA. Am I bugging? He just signed a deal.
Uh, yeah, I remember he
Yeah,
signed a deal. I forgot who.
yeah, he just signed a deal. So hey, he everything looking up for Rayvon right now. Hopefully, his debut is even better than his debut mixtape. So shout out the good, the bad, the dollar menu.
Yes, sir. My next one.
Mhm.
Talked about it a little bit in what we've been jamming. Lil Tech is dopamine. Like I said,
Mhm.
this is the bag that I am missing from Pierre that Pierre is not delivering on. And someone like a Lil Tecca is delivering on it. Now, Lil Tecca knows that he doesn't sound the most unique. He's not the most like crazy artist that you got to go to him to get that sound specifically. Because to me, I've always said that Lil Tecca sounds like a more energetic version of A Boogie and Nav put together with the speaker knockers influence in there, obviously. But what Lil Tecca has been doing so far on this run that he's had with his last three albums, Tecca Plan A and now Dopamine itself, really do enjoy it. There's a lot of songs in there that I really love on there that I got to go back to. And sometimes just playing the whole album and getting the whole feel and the mix slash playlist vibe of the actual album itself and the way it like goes from one song transition to the next one. That's something I
Mhm.
really enjoy. Like I said, I've been missing from Pierre Bourne, but Pierre Bourne has not been delivering that for me as of late. But Tekka has. He's been filling that void. So yeah, Lil Tekka's Dopamine. Really been enjoying it. And that's one of the albums I also go back to when I want to just play something that I know, like, oh, boom, like that's something I know I'm gonna enjoy. So
All
yeah.
right, Lil Tecca, this dude right here is Lil Tecca stuff.
Hey, V, he's on a little run the last three albums.
Oh man, another project I want to highlight, man. Billy Woods, Gollywog. This is an album that I need more time with it still
Mhm.
because like I said, he's the Gollywog. I don't know if anybody don't know about like the Gollywog figures. It was like I think they was using like Jim Crow. It was a racist figure like that they had. It's a little creepy little black monster with a little red lips, you know what I mean? They being disrespectful to the black, to the blacks. But with Billy Woods,
Mm.
man, this the production on here, the feel, the world is horror. Like that's how it feels. Like the beats feel horrific. It's bringing you into a darker place, and him speaking on a lot of issues, geopolitics and stuff like that, also brings a lot of people into his music because he's a political guy. But on this project, bro, I was sucked into like the production and the world of this man because you a fan of horror, I'm a fan of horror. That's how it made me feel. I want to spend more time with it. I haven't been back. I haven't listened to it in about like a month now. I need to go back. I got it on CD, so it's in the collection. But
Did
I
you
don't
get the
know.
vinyl?
No, I didn't buy the vinyl. It's just some stuff I'm gonna have on different formats. That's how I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it. Some stuff I buy vinyl, some stuff I'm buy tape, CD. But Gollywog by Billy Woods will be in a lot of people top tens that's on the timeline. But it might make mine. It depends if I get back to it more and get to listen to it. But it is overall a dope album to me because I don't know if Billy Woods can drop nothing bad. And in my being a Billy Woods fan, I know
Mhm.
some of this stuff is not everybody cup of tea. So shout out Billy Woods, Gollywog.
All right. My next project, and this one might be a little bit of a throwback for you, B. Fat Ray and Black Milk. Food
Hey,
for
it's
the
on my list too,
gods.
V. It's
Hey,
on
we
my
could both
list
talk
too.
about it, B. Hey, B, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. You put me into a different world, different space. Like I said, this gave
Mm-hmm.
me very reminiscent vibes of like a pinata where you got one producer with Black Milk, but then you
Mm-hmm.
got Fat Ray, who is the rapper on this project, give you some dope bars, dope lyricism over some really great production over here. Has some features from Bruiser Wolf, Danny Brown, Guilty Simpson, obviously he's from the Detroit area, giving some shout outs to Jay Dilla here and there. But overall, man, I'm liking the vibe. The rough and gruff in his voice really delivers on this project. He has such a good mic presence. And this
Mm-hmm.
was my introduction to Fat Ray, basically. And I really enjoyed what he gave me on this project right here, especially in the latter half of the project where it kind of like took me a bit for a surprise. But we have a
Mm-hmm.
review of this. So if you want to check out our full thoughts on this, you go ahead and check out the review.
Yeah, man. Hey, Fat Ray. I'm saying it's certain artists. I'm like, all right, B might like him. I was like, I'm gonna put Fat Ray and also he on some Black Milk production. Oh, it can't be no wrong. So I had to
Mhm.
suggest you to watch. I mean, suggest you to listen to this, bro, right here, bro. But dog, this project right here, the only thing I can say about it that I need more. So anything I can say
Mhm.
bad about it, I need more of this. B 28
Mhm.
minutes wasn't enough. Give me more of
Mhm.
that. You know what I'm saying? No, no
Mhm.
homo. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I was but no, like the album just flows right down, bro. To me, I had no skips. Production was hitting, like you said, Fat Ray voice, bro. On this, it adds more to it, bro. It's like it
Mhm.
upped the value of the production with me, especially when you have someone that just fits so well together. I need more of this, man. I need that food for the gods too. You know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
dose. But man, this was dope. And I also still love the album cover. And I need this on vinyl, bro. I haven't
I
bought it on
know.
vinyl. Cause
It's.
you
I
didn't you
think
say
it's
you
sold
bought it?
out. Nah, I said I
I
wanted
think on
to, but
their
it's sold
website,
out.
like everywhere.
Shoot, I'll look it up, but while you talking about it, but I think it's
But
sold out because it was
I
only like
need that
200. It was limited to 200.
for real. Cause I know they had
Mhm.
they had one on beat on Fat Beats,
I think it was the
and
same one, wasn't it?
I thought it was a different color,
Let me see. I'll look for it while you talking.
man. But nah, really dope. Like you say, yeah, Guilty Simpson, Danny Brown on here, Bruiser Wolf. You know they label mates with Danny, but nah, man, that Elderberry boy was on there. Sounded crazy on that Elderberry track, and I love the production on that. Man, it's like, bro, like the first, like what, Elderberry down, like, man, the run was crazy on this. More people need to be talking about this type of stuff, bro. I know this albums like this not gonna be on the charts. I'm not saying that, but more of us on more of these hip hop platforms need to talk about the music, the lyrics, the dope beat, the creativity. But now we don't. We don't. We want to talk about Drake abs. But yeah, do
It
you want to go
also it
into
is
your next
sold out.
project, or you want, since we both review like that, add that to our list? Do you want me to go with mine or what?
You
Or
can
do
go
you
with
want to go with
yours.
yours?
You
Okay,
can go with your next one.
my next project that I'm gonna go with. I was bouncing back and forth, but I'm gonna go Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon. Um, really love this project. I remember when I first listened to it, I didn't turn it off really. I just played it because I'm like, man, I love the instrumentation. It felt like live instrumentation on here. I love the storytelling on here. I love the album cover as well. It's probably my favorite album cover this year. I don't know, I just love that style. Um, just the storytelling of, I think it was like I think each track that had it has this concept around like death and being alive and losing someone you love, the grievances in this family, uh, like how it can turn a family around or a friend group around in this situation right here. And this another one I need to get on like vinyl. But like McKinley Dixon rapping really well, dope features from Quayle on here. He has the song with Ice Cold Bishop and Pink Seafood, probably my favorite on the track. I mean on the album. But man, this album right here, probably one of my favorites. This might be in my top 10. I don't think this
Mm,
leave in my top 10, to be honest with you.
mm.
So
All right. My next one, Luca.
hey,
What is it? A lost language found?
mm-hmm,
Almost the same thing I gotta say about the Fat Ray and Black Milk.
mm-hmm,
I gotta say about the Luca. Luca gave a really stellar performance, lyricism, a lyricist from the South, Stag Selecta's beat making, beat instrumentals, whatever you want to call
mm-hmm,
them. His basically his production, stellar, fire. He gave me those 90s
mm-hmm,
NYC like New York type vibes when it comes to like hip hop, but it also gave in a mix of flavor from stuff from the South as well. With Luca spitting on here, some great feature verses. I think that overall this project, while it is a bit lengthy at an hour 6 minutes, we got to remember some of the stuff is layered in with the skits and the intros, some spoken word in there to help flesh out this world and make it feel a bit more gritty while you're going to Memphis. So with
mm-hmm,
Luca and Stack Selector's collab project, A Lost Language Found, especially with each of the songs correlating with the actual title of the album itself in terms of like title structure.
mm-hmm,
Really, really loved it. Luca is one of those young, not young artists, but one of those newer artists that I just got put onto by you, B. You put me on.
mm-hmm.
I have to look out for. So
Yes,
yeah.
sir. I'm gonna do one more, man. I'm gonna do one more because
Hmm.
it's a when it comes to this year, a lot of releases, a lot of releases. but hip hop still a little iffy. You know what I mean? This one gonna be a little different. We both enjoyed this album, B. So I don't know if you got it on your
Mm.
list. Cushion Orange Juice by Wiz.
That was gonna be my last one. So you come
Yeah,
on, let's talk about it then, me. This is
so
my last one
Wiz,
too.
yeah, so Wiz and Cushion, because I wanted to add something a little different on here, and this is something that's
Hmm.
vibey. Wiz
Hmm.
kind of made you feel like I don't know, boy. He felt I like that. He kind of kept on the essence of the mixtape, the classic mixtape.
Hmm.
I love the production on here. I love how Wiz sound on here. Like we first was like, man, Wiz not being appreciated. Like, remember I was talking about like I feel like Wiz has been lost in like the new generation. And like no one talks about him no more. Like he wasn't putting up the numbers. And like he put out this project and all I saw was love. He did a tiny desk. I need to check it out. But this
Same.
project, bro, all the features to me pretty much made sense. I loved how he used, he had Currency on here, of course, Lil Tyler, Gunna was on here. Juicy J. It
OT
just
Genesis.
OC Genesis. Hey, that what's happening is probably my favorite track on here. Crashed Out was
Hmm.
dope with him and Larry June. Like, bro, I like everything on here. I just didn't really care for the little
Bonus
bonus tracks
tracks.
he did, but
Same.
other than that, everything else was like really dope, man. It made me just riding your whip because I remember me listening to Wiz back in the day. I didn't have no whip, bro. I'm on my
Hmm.
skateboard. I'm walking. I'm with the homies, and if the homie have a car. So now being a grown man, being a dog, got my own whip, and actually get to jam some Wiz is just it's crazy. What this was 10 years, no, 15 years later.
Hmm.
Look back, 15 years ago, I was 15, well, 16, and just I don't know.
Oh,
I just liked how Wiz, kept up the essence of Cushion Orange Juice, man. And it was dope, bro. It was dope. I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna highlight it.
yeah, this was on my list as well. I literally re-listened to this week just to remember like how good it
Right.
was. I'm like, God
Mm-hmm.
dang, this is still good, still putting me in that vibe. I'm over here working, listening to the album. I'm like, oh man, especially songs like Five Star with him and Gunna. Cashed Out is
Mm-hmm.
literally my favorite song with him and Larry June. The OT Genesis song, which is like the second track, which when you see the name OT Genesis, you like, uh-huh. But when you listen to the song,
Yeah.
you like, all right, this is good right here. Overall, the whole project, like you were saying, the features definitely make sense. The actual production that he went over, him still bringing the DJ voice of DJ Easy Riding or whatever the
Yeah.
name of the
Easy
DJ
Rider.
was, and the little interlude like what's happening, and the whole
Mm-hmm.
Max B wavy interlude that's happening. Chevy Woods
Mm-hmm.
basically making a return back on here from the old school nostalgic ways of like him and Taylor Gang and all that. I thoroughly enjoyed this project and him having that introspective track about his mom and his sister on here.
Oh yeah,
Really
yeah.
dope.
And then he
Really,
lost
really
his
dope.
sister as well. So and she
Mhm.
passed away. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. Dope
Overall,
album.
yeah. But for me this year, it's not as hype quality wise that we got last year, because a lot of the juggernauts that we've grew up on, especially coming from the blog era, was dropping with Vince, Schoolboy Q, Freddie, Kendrick, Drake, even though with the diss tracks or whatever. But even though they was dropping, there was a lot of quality drops that happened last year. I mean, shoot, there was a lot of projects that I really liked. But I remember last year at the beginning of the year, or the first mid year, I was having a hard time making the top 10 as well. So
B.
yes.
We gotta be honest. What happened in
Hmm.
2023? What everybody was saying? Hip hop is
2023.
Yeah, everybody was just talking trash about hip hop.
Yeah.
And then 2024, what happened, B? People was in the beginning, everybody was saying the same thing until dun 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 dun.
That was March, right?
B. Let's say the beef never happened. What's the
I
talks we'll
think
be having?
hip hop will be in a very bad state. Hip hop will be in, because we got to think about it. A lot of people was eating just off of the association and affiliation with Kendrick Lamar and TDE at that point. Doechii, Schoolboy Q, Ab Soul, uh, I think that's about it. SZA obviously dropping that deluxe, but all the
Mhm.
TDE and Kendrick affiliations help boost those other people. So I'm trying to see will we be having and then the whole West is up thing, and everybody saying the West Coast came out with the best albums last year. Uh, I'm wondering where I am wondering where the state of hip hop would have been last year. Like, will we still be having these same types like, oh, like the hip hop releases last year are way better than the ones this year?
Mhm. I remember the think pieces that was coming out on YouTube before the beef happened. Hip hop is in a bad state. They were talking about the charts. They were talking about what's going on. Where's Kendrick? But oh, bro, I remember. I remember
So
y'all can go
bas-
back and look at some of these guys' videos.
so basically, be what you're saying is an anomaly happened within the system, and now we're right back to where we were.
Like I said, man, all this stuff corrects itself with time.
Dang.
It always. And one thing that we don't have on on our side is back then we, the technology wasn't too advanced. Now, when it comes to like fashion and stuff like that, yeah, things come back around because it's like a Apple Watch, right? Everybody got an Apple
Mhm.
Watch. Everybody have a smartphone, and now it's people that want to make dumb phones. They getting flip phones. They getting away. They not listening to music no more on their phones. They attaching it to their iPod. They buying old iPods. They getting tapes. We getting CDs because technology has been so advanced. We getting to a point where the luxury, the things that people want, is the old stuff. But one thing with this music thing, the only thing we can do is physically. But when it comes to the artist going back in time to making the music, that ain't happening one because now we're battling with a new form of tech, which is AI. That's one thing we don't have in our hands when it comes to this music. And music, more people are making it. I feel like it's getting more watered down. And that's what's going to happen. We can't control that because technology. That's one thing that we can't really control. We can do it personally for ourselves and try to, you know, buy the record players, buy the vinyl, buy the cassette player, buy the cassettes. But when it comes to the big kids, the major labels and stuff, bro, streaming era, AI era, it's different. All this stuff will get watered down. Like you said, when you go back and you listen to all that dope R&B and soul music, and you like, dang, it don't feel the same. B is all
Mhm.
watered down. We talked about all these albums, and there's so much more albums that came out that we haven't even listened to. So much music. Like I said, you got to go to the landfill. You got to go to the trash. It's hard to find gold. You remember when you can go on like that Piff or somewhere and find a mixtape you never heard and it was dope, even though it was a lot of stuff being put out then, but it still was a amount of like good artists, a good amount of good artists. But now everybody that's kind of good, they've been around for a while. Where's that new artist that's making us feel that substance, that feel oh, like this dude gonna be this? But nah, we got streamers. It's just like we talked about this. It's a wrap, bro. I don't know where we finna go. It's getting like kind of scary. We don't have
It
superstars
is.
no more, B. Think about it.
That's
And I'm not trying to
that's the
fearmonger.
problem.
We don't have superstars no more. We're getting crazy over a little kid with dreads, a young dude going into the BET Awards with a camera. He's like the hottest, he the hottest rapper out here. This nigga not a rapper. You
He's
see how they
hotter
got
than some of
upset?
the rappers.
Yeah, bro, they coming to him. They go to Kai, bro. People, we used to want to be in the rooms with the rappers. We want to be around the rappers. They want to be around the streamers, bro. That's how I'm saying this. Everything is twisted. Everything flipped. In a way, we are the consumers, right? We
Hmm.
they are our court gestures. Kai is a consumer, and now we have this era now where we have our own media. We are more in control of like their lives because they're coming to us now. They need us more than it because traditional media is gone. All the traditional stuff, the legacy media, nobody care about it. A lot of people, journalists and stuff that work for different news medias or whatever, they're going on YouTube making their own stuff. So everything is getting switched. So you got new media versus old media looking at new media like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's just remember we talked about the Elliot Wilson stuff. Like it's all a back and forth right now. We in a when it comes to stuff like that, we in an era in confusion, I believe. Like, I don't know. It's like we in a different world. I
I
don't know.
think
It's weird to
the
me.
problem the problem that came in was user generated content. Once we
Hmm.
was able to have to make this, and there was no barrier of entry to do it,
Right.
oh, it was raps.
It's a
Because the
wrap.
thing is, it's like the AI. It's slowly getting better. We're
Mhm.
slowly learning more. That's all we needed. We just needed some time. And we was gonna catch up to the people that was doing all the things that we used to watch on TV. I'm always gonna bring this up. The G4 revival. We loved G4 back then, but that's not gonna work in today's day and age. Like a 106 in Park. Yeah, people will love the thought of it, but it wouldn't work in today's day and age. It's outdated. We don't even
Mhm.
want this. We have too much choice and too much selection at our hands. Why we sit down and watch something that's forcefully curated for us?
Mhm.
Not forcefully advertised for us, forcefully curated. You guys sit through an hour block to watch 10 music videos. And if you don't like one, B, I could go watch a music video that I want to watch whenever I want to watch it. Why would I sit down for this certain block to watch it at this certain time? But I also think that's the problem because since we're all not sitting down and connected to one thing, we're all everywhere. Everyone is scattered. Like the whole Love Island thing, everybody dropping, it all drops on one day. One episode drops one day at the same day. Everybody gets to consume it. Everybody talks about it on Twitter.
It's like, and everybody algorithm is different too now. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
catered to you.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, you used to have to consume everything. Like you used to have to, but now algorithms are like catered to you now. Like it's you. That's why TikTok's so successful. You know what I'm saying? You get on TikTok, it's all you. It's everything you like. I have conversations with my coworkers. I'm like, yo, you seen this? You like, nah, but you see this? I was like, it's so crazy how our algorithms are so different now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a one big ass echo chamber. That's why I like things I don't like on Twitter. It's some stuff people say I don't like it, but I like it because I want to see different opinions. Sometimes people like, damn, why is these people popping up on my stuff? But also, I think your algorithm also based off some of the people you follow. You know what I'm saying? But if you follow in an echo chamber,
That's
because
all
some
you
people's
want
like,
to
bro,
see.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. But me, I like to see different things, see different sides. Because right now, it's no way you could believe each side. Like I'm not just for to watch Fox News. I need to see what CNN talking about. I need to see CNBC. I can't just listen to Fox News because I already know what they for the feed us. So it's like now people just want to cater to what they like, what they on. You know what I mean?
They don't
And
like to have different opinions, opinions
not
that
not
kind of go
or
against
different
theirs.
perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing, then we can go on. It's like people are upset with 50 Cent because he wants to get the guy that's running for mayor in New York out of here because he's saying he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
defund the police and they're gonna tax the rich more because they want to add more free eating and different programs for some of the less fortunate in New York. And I agree with that. That's dope. But on the other side, you got these rich people that's like, who taxes you taking? You know what I'm saying?
It's like I get it because I'm not in that position, but then it's
Right,
like
right,
if
right.
I
But
would
if
have
you
worked for
was in that
that, why are you punishing me because I
for me
worked extra
for
hard for my
so
bread? Like, what are
I'm saying
we doing?
that's the different perspective. I'm with helping the people the less fortunate, but also you
Uh-huh.
got the people the more fortunate. Like, hold up, nigga, you take it from me. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a yin and a yang. That's why none of this stuff is right. That's why we have two different sides of everything because nobody's actually right. It's just two
Mhm.
different perspectives. But the whole thing is be two things can be true. This is my whole perspective. You right, I'm right. Now you think I'm wrong. I think you wrong. I don't, we don't agree. But let's get to a point where we can work together. Like let's make
Yeah,
this
meet in the
work.
middle.
Let's meet in the middle. Let's make it work.
Compromise.
But nobody want that. Nobody care about the people in the middle. Nobody care about the lukewarm people. You either hot or you cold. Oh, you hot? I'm over here with you. You cold? I don't want nothing to do with you, really. If I'm
Hmm.
hot, so it's like we're not working together, man. That's the problem.
Yep.
They're gonna let me get my philosophical bag, but that's enough of
Yeah.
that. If you guys listen to some of those albums or talk about some albums we didn't even talk about, because I'm pretty sure I had some in my list. I just didn't want to talk about all the albums, you know what I'm saying? Because it
Hmm.
is oversaturated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a lot of albums that I was writing because I've been trying to keep up with albums that I at least liked or was like,
Mhm.
okay, I had a decent time with this.
I,
I kind of
I
made a
favorite
list of
I favorite them. I get to favorite the albums on Apple Music. You can favorite
Mhm.
them and they put them in its own little folder, like filter.
Oh,
And you can
see,
hit
that's
favorite
nice.
albums and it pop all the way up. So it's a list of all my albums from last 6 months that pop up
Mm. See, on
that I favorite.
Spotify, I just like albums. I'm like, okay, I can return to this, but if I don't like it at
Mhm.
all, I'm not adding it.
Yeah.
Not at
Oh,
all.
facts. I can listen to an album after I add it just to listen, and after I'm done, and I don't like it, delete. I get that shit out of my library, boy. I don't
Mhm.
want nothing to do with it. But yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, let us know what y'all think about the mid-year so far in the comment section down below. Let us know some of the stuff that y'all been jamming this year. I know that one guy, Times 100, is gonna be in the comments talking about, yeah, I've been jamming his stuff a lot. He talking
Talking
about
about Johnny
himself, B.
100, Johnny X
Yeah,
100.
Johnny
Hey,
X 100.
B, they didn't get the double entendre in the mid year.
Mid year for the mid year. Oh
Oh
man.
man.
We got one more last topic, and we can
All
make this a
right.
quick topic. Looking back at the SoundCloud era, I know our boys at Potty Mouth made this video, but you said that this was a suggested, Jesus, suggested by Dom, right?
Yeah, on Twitter, he was like, he want to know what we think about it. About like, just looking back at the SoundCloud era and like what it meant, or like, did it age properly, or like, even with the Mount Rushmore, like, who is those guys that's, you know,
Mm.
the blog era goats? Just the whole aspect of how the
SoundCloud
blog
era.
era affected hip hop.
Wait, blog era or SoundCloud
I
era?
mean, SoundCloud era, my bad.
Oh, okay.
SoundCloud era, my bad.
So yeah, so for the people who have not seen the picture, there is a Mount Rushmore of SoundCloud artists, and in there is Lil Uzi Vert, XXXTentacion, Juice World, and Playboy Cardi. I have a gripe with this Mount Rushmore. I don't think Playboy Cardi should be on there.
Hmm. Why not?
Uh,
Because he was a we.
I just don't feel like he had the impact compared to the other two/three that's on there. Juice World, I really don't want to put him on there either. To me, he kind of broke out more during while it was the SoundCloud era. To me, he didn't really break out on SoundCloud compared to he was like, the SoundCloud and streaming era are so synonymous with each other to me, to where it's like I feel like he was more beneficial because of I mean not Landon Cube, Lyrical Lemonade, and then the streaming on Spotify and things like that. To me, SoundCloud wise, Uzi should be on there. We gotta think about the Lucy's and stuff that he was dropping. XXX should be on there. We gotta think about the way that his fan base and all that was curated. I seen a lot of people say Trippy Red. I'm not too mad at that, but something don't sit right with me in Trippy Red. And I know Diamond Four made a video about this on their Potty Mouth channel. Even though I know they shouldn't be on there, I'm like, dang, no talks of like Nav or Pierre Bourne. Like, we gotta like, come on, man, what are we talking about right here? But I had to actually look up a list. I had the list, but I accidentally exited out of it earlier. But you could go ahead and start with your spiel, B.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Playboy Cart. Well, I don't think Juice World should be on here because I
That's
agree
what I
with you on
said.
that. I think he should be on like the tail end, like you said, he benefited a lot from Lyrical Lemonade with the Cal Bennett stuff. Even though I seen him on SoundCloud before the Lyrical Lemonade stuff, but it wasn't nobody was listening to it, B.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it wasn't even many listens. The Lyrical Lemonade video blew him, took him off. X Lil Uzi, it's
I
like
think
with
Uchi should be
Uzi.
on there for the Lucy's.
But I feel like Uzi had he had the Young Thug cosign before like his SoundCloud era really emerged. Because he was making music like in 2014, 20, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know him like that, but I'm saying I found him on SoundCloud, I'll be honest. But he had the
Mm-hmm.
huge, he wasn't as big yet, but he had that huge like Young Thug cosign.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I feel like with Triple X, him being on SoundCloud, even three what's the other dude, Trippy Red, them
Ski
guys,
mask. Oh,
Ski Mask. I remember them just being on SoundCloud. Boom. You know what I'm saying? That's just being on SoundCloud, not another artist giving them like some type of or another platform. Like for Juice World to me is YouTube being with Cole Bennett. Playboy Cardi kind of was around a little bit before the SoundCloud era. That was like, and then Lil Uzi, like I say, he had the cosign, but I feel like has to be on here because his whole
yeah.
growth is SoundCloud. Trippy Red, these guys you won't agree with because they SoundCloud rappers, but they was like, Little Pump, Smoke Perp.
You said I wouldn't agree with it.
I don't say I don't think you probably want them on a Mount Rushmore or nothing like that. But I'm saying they are SoundCloud.
They're like top
Lil
10
Yachty should be on.
fundamentals.
Lil
I
Yachty should be
agree
on here.
because Lil Yachty was literally the face of mumble rap.
Little
The
Yachty,
face of it.
wintertime, all the time. Ooh, wintertime, but he didn't blow up all the way. But I'm just
Uh,
saying he was, you got Puya was crazy. Little Fat Nick. You had a lot of those guys that was on SoundCloud around that time making crazy noise, bro.
yeah,
You
I'm
know what I'm
trying to look
saying?
at a list of people because the era versus SoundCloud itself is two different
Mhm.
things. Because I'm looking at this list right here, and while it's a list of SoundCloud era rappers, like this isn't a list of like the top SoundCloud rappers because
Right, right,
we
right.
got Peep in here, Playboy Cardi in here, Juice World, Lil Uzi, 21 Savage. I wouldn't count Denzel Curry necessarily because I feel like
Yeah,
he
I
was at the
knew.
tail end of the blog era, coming into the SoundCloud era. We got boy that's in jail that made the race. I forgot his name.
Take care.
Yeah, Take A, Rico Nasty, P&B Rock, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Smoke Perp, a Lil Pump, like you were saying, Ugly God, Wi-Fi's Funeral, Lil Mozzie, Made in TYL, Lil Skies, who
Mm-hmm.
blew up off of the Cole Bennett music
Nowadays,
videos. That was back
food
in the
for my
era where
girlfriend
you get one Cole Bennett video. Oh, it was
is
blowing
a
me up.
rap.
YNW Melly. That's
Oh,
another one.
Melly. Yep.
Really, that whole Kodak Black is one as well. That whole double XL freshman list, except for G Herbo, because G Herbo came from the blog era. But
Mm-hmm.
that whole little list, and Dave East too, because he was at the tail end of the blog era as well. That whole little double XL, that was basically that era right there. But yeah, I know some people put Ski Mask in there. I kind of want to go to the comments of the here and see like what some of the people are saying. Some people said Triple X, Lil Peep, Ski Mask, and Uzi. I don't think Ski Mask should be in there because Uzi had because XXX fills that spot of what Ski
Yeah,
Mask
the
was,
him
especially with
coming
their
off the yeah.
affiliations. Someone said remove Juice WRLD, put Trippy Red, please. I agree with Dom and Forrest's point of like Trippy Red was there, he was present, but he was never like the big or major star. Like he was one of those people that was a rising star, but I just feel like he never fully got there. Like you get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A
But
lot of people
he
say
do got some SoundCloud classes, bro.
no, he do. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? A love letter to you. I love that
Mm-hmm.
project. Uh, someone has to be there. I feel for either Lil Pump slash Pulp Smoke Perp. I feel like one of those two have to take up that spot. One
Probably
of
had to
those
be
spots up
Pump.
there.
Pump had the Gucci Gang
Pump was the
record.
way bigger one, but I know
Mm-hmm.
it was because of Lil Smoke Perp that Lil Pump happened
Yeah, that had it.
basically.
Yeah.
It's like the little baby Gunna thing, basically, kind
Mm-hmm.
of. You know what I'm saying? So uh I know some
But
people said Lil Xan.
yeah.
I wouldn't put him.
Looking back retrospectively on the SoundCloud era, what you think it did for music or what it did for hip hop? Like, did it age properly, or do you think it aged exactly how we thought it was, which is bad?
I
Because
It's hard to say because it's like I feel like the SoundCloud era literally ushered in the rage sound that we have now. It literally ushered in streaming because we had to go to one site, you couldn't download the music, and you had to listen to it on that one site unless you were to allegedly illegally download the music.
so it
So
did
to me,
more
it was like a
bad than good.
precursor. It depends because we also got a lot of younger kids who are now making music who just picked up a mic, got on these beats. They're not fully mixed, they're not fully produced, making these really short songs that we got now. It probably set it set the precedence for what we have now, which in turn has created rage music, which Trippie Red has been uh, deemed as one of the forefathers of rage music, which I don't really deny. But if you want to look at it like that, kind of a bad thing. Like to me, this showed way more rebellion within hip hop, like that youth and rebellion in hip hop. But also that could have been a detriment to everything as well, because there wasn't no like a in the blog era you had a Drake who would do the party tracks but be the backpack rapper type thing happening as well. To me, there wasn't a lot of balance within this era. That's the problem, is why
Mhm.
I'll say. Looking back at it, what do you think?
I agree with you, but I just think that for the worse, we look back at this era, I think it's aged poorly because of the mixing quality of I can just post a song on SoundCloud and I might get 50,000 plays. Let me just make this song in my closet. You know what I'm saying? Use a little auto tune. I feel like a lot of those artists, we had a lot of clones. They all had colored hair. It was just like this SoundCloud era became
A meme.
no, it became a meme and a derogatory term. Like you already had rapper. Oh yeah, you're a rapper. And people like, okay, you trying to rap. But you be like, oh, this nigga a SoundCloud rapper. Like it became a derogatory, like it became like an insult. You know what I'm saying?
Me.
So
Remember, we
huh?
was trying to make music. Not me and
Yeah,
you, but
yeah.
yeah,
But
we
I
was trying to
remember,
make music during
yeah,
this
I know.
era.
And when I was trying to make music, I was trying to, I was trying to rappity rap. You know what I'm saying? Look, I
Uh-huh.
was from the essence. But anyways, I'm just saying, it's room for all this. But I'm gonna just say, just for like Asian Asian perspective, I don't think it aged really well because look, sad to say it's not their fault, but we lost Juice World, we lost X, right? So we don't know what their careers became. We see what Playboy Cardi's at, but I feel like Playboy Cardi is a little more before the SoundCloud era. Like he didn't, to me, he didn't even fit. Like at first, he didn't really fit that mold to me. You get what I mean?
Mm,
Even the
yeah, I get
people he
what you
was
mean.
around, and he had like a little different sound. Like I wouldn't call him a
He was with
SoundCloud
ASAP
rapper.
Mob.
Yeah. And then when it comes with like with Lil Uzi, we see how they turned on Uzi now. And we look at Lil Pump, look at Smoke Perp, look at all the other guys, bro. They know really nowhere to be found. I won't even say Kodak Black was a SoundCloud rapper. He was in the era, but as a
Yeah,
SoundCloud and like 21 Savage, I feel like they connected more to the streets. They connected more to like when I heard about Kodak Black, it was like 2013 on Tumblr, you know what I'm saying? From this dude from Florida. Like and it was more of like a essence of him like being like a new version of Lil Boosie, you know what I'm saying? And 21 Savage being like a new version of like this Gucci man type of guy. This guy is like very menacing. He didn't give me that stereotypical SoundCloud feel, even when it comes to quality of music. So
hmm
I don't know. Looking back at it from like the perspective of SoundCloud era, I think it aged poorly, and it also did usher in, the streaming era and stuff like that. Yes, it did good and some bad. I think everything comes with its cons and its pros, but I don't know.
yeah. I
I
think this
just,
was more the antics driven. I mean, 6ix9ine is also in this era.
yeah, technically,
This is
yeah,
more.
yeah.
This is more of the antics, clout driven.
This the cloud
This
era.
is when it was going on IG Live, beefing with each other. This
Hmm.
was way more personality driven than it was really musically or lyrically driven. Like at least with the blog era, you had everybody that was in the pocket and sector. In this, they all kind of fit like that same sector. It's just sonically, sound
Mm.
wise, what you didn't get
Cause,
down with because none
cause
of these
like
guys was really lyrical like that.
right, right. Because the blog era, yes, we got closer to our artists because we can, talk to them on Twitter and stuff like that. But the SoundCloud era, we was way more close to the artists, more personable, actually seeing different things. Because, Wiz kind of ushered in like vlogging, and I know Joe Budden was doing it as well, but it wasn't as like very popular. But I feel like all these guys had like some type of vlog series. Triple X was super like he had a Tumblr blog posting his thoughts. He also posts his fights. He had fights all over the internet. It was like more people felt. I feel like parasocialism became really hectic around these SoundCloud artists, bro. It was super crazy.
That and these artists were super young. At least with
They
Drake,
was mad
Currency, and
young.
all of
Yeah,
them, they was
yeah.
like 10 years older than us, 10 to
Hmm.
15 years older than us.
And,
These kids, they was
and
our
like
age.
yeah, and also Wiz and Currency already they already had like been signed before when they was around their age. And then they was
Uh,
more, in their earlier later to earlier 20s when we actually got hip to them, even though they already had experiences in the business. So they was a little more mature. These guys, like you said, bro, they was young, fresh, some in high school, they're like very immature. So it's like it was a lot of things going around that was like a lot of these kids was, you know, hanging on to, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
mhm.
It was a crazy time. I don't
Yeah.
miss it. Everybody was saying it was gonna age poorly, and I believe it did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and sadly, a lot of old heads stuck with the term mumble rap, and they still use it today. I'm like, dog,
No,
using
you
the
can't
term
use
mumble
mumble
rap
rap
in the
anymore. That's
big
disgusting.
2025. Like, what are we doing? Like that
Disgusting.
literally, like people at my job use that term. I'm like, that literally tells me everything I need to know about your perspective on hip hop currently. I'm like, if you still using mumble rap in in the year 25, you you're lost. Like you're literally
Super
an old
loss.
head because you shouldn't be using the term mumble rap outside of this era right here. Really, once this era started happening, once it hit the streaming era, you shouldn't be saying mumble rap at all anymore because it's like, all right, you just don't like the southern drawl a lot because that's what most of the artists that were mumbling were doing. Because
Hmm.
Ski Mask wasn't mumbling, X wasn't mumbling. It was mostly the rap from southern rappers who just had a super southern drawl about them. Lil Baby, Gunna, Thug, Yachty, all
Hmm.
people from the south, Migos. Even though
Hmm.
they were super articulate with what they was rapping, they were still calling them mumble rap. I'm like, that don't make no sense. I don't know. Yeah, just because you can understand it and they flowing real well does not make it mumble. Now, Gotti, yes, he sounded like he had something in his mouth every time he was rapping. I'll give you that. But
How many niggas you
yeah.
know get that shit straight off the boat? I remember those, bro. Lil Yachty took down two of my songs. I used to do a lot of remixes and stuff on SoundCloud to people's music. And when Lil Yachty got his deal, that's when they started removing my remixes. So it always been F Lil Yachty and you and Warner. Was it Warner? I used to get those freaking I used to get those
the
messages, boy.
DMCA copyright strikes.
Yeah, boy. I used to hate that.
But like I said, the only people I felt was missing in these conversations, even though they should be on the Mount Rushmore, Nav. But Nav kind of like did a little something though, especially with that song Myself. I didn't expect it to be that huge, but
Yeah,
when you showed me
that's a
the
SoundCloud
man,
classic.
yeah, but when you showed me that man, the man B, oh me, I
Yeah,
was
I'm the
jamming.
man.
Look, this is when he was saying the N word. He was the brown boy.
Hey, the brown boy. But nah, man.
And
SoundCloud
PM
era
Bourne,
has.
especially.
I think every era have they the artist signature songs and moments. But
Mhm.
when it comes to like ushering the streaming era,
Yeah, this one ushered it in because it's like, oh, they don't want to download it. Like they want to keep it on that platform. Let's make a platform where they gotta pay and they'll listen to it through this.
like even the platforms already existed. They just made the premium version for you to just have the whole. Once the labels got involved into like Pandora, Apple Music, it was Beats Music before Apple
Mhm.
made Apple Music. You had Spotify. I had Spotify in 2014. Yeah, so
Yeah, man, this era really did more harm than good.
yeah, people about to start back pirating and stuff. I believe too.
I don't think so, B, only because it's not as easily accessible for them if they do that. It's not easily labeled if they do that.
Yeah, I think they about to. I don't know about musically, but I'm just saying. I think pirating for to do a revamp.
Mm. Hey,
I'm
get
just
straight
saying.
off the boat, B.
I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, allegedly. We'll know anything
I
about
have
that.
been allegedly downloading YouTube videos.
Allegedly, because you have YouTube
Allegedly,
Premium, right,
allegedly.
B?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
B?
I got you.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, just trying to find out how I could drag those into my desktop.
yeah.
Not trying to keep them on the YouTube platform, but
Oh yeah,
allegedly.
yeah. Sometimes you're just archiving, B, just in case
Yeah, that's
YouTube
it.
shuts down or something. Yeah, yeah, that's
Facts.
it. But yeah,
That's all it
y'all
is.
let us know what
Research
y'all think about.
purposes.
Oh, of course, always, always. Hey, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Fair use, fair use.
Y'all let us know what y'all think about the SoundCloud era down in the comment section down below. Did it did more harm than it did good? Let us know in the comment section down below. But that's been it for another episode of Beyond Beats and Culture. B, do you have any closing notes before we head out?
My closing thoughts, bro, is all you people tried to kill me on Twitter, bro. I guess we was having two different arguments. It is what it is. Y'all call me slow, but we also use the slow ones. You need to we talk about, like I say, we keep hip hop creative. We think outside the box. But a lot of you niggas is in the box. Y'all think hip hop is one thing and one thing only. It's more than this, that, bro. Hip hop is a lot of things. Like B said earlier, these guys in the SoundCloud era, they pushed, what I'm saying? They was outside the box. They was more punk when it comes to like going against counterculture, which is hip hop is as a whole. Hip hop is
That's
punk.
why. That's why I hate when old heads. Oh, this is the worst era of hip hop. Literally, y'all always say how hip hop is about rebellion. This was the most rebellious era we ever had. What are we talking
Man.
about now?
So that's my closing thoughts, man. I mean, like, y'all need to stop having revisionist history. Like, hip hop is not about the party. Hip hopping, being at the party, bro. Come on, man. We gotta stop it. That's all I gotta say, B. I'm gonna let
I
them
got
make
two
it.
things. I got two things before I head out.
Mhm.
Y'all gotta stop using mumble rap in the big 2025. From here on out, stop it. Y'all just gotta find a different term. Secondly, Diddy, Diddy's son to be specific, King Combs, don't ever touch a mic again. This has been another episode of Beyond Beats and Culture. My name is Chase the Dark Sage.
I'm T.
Peace.
Peace.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.